each and every single one of us, we are better off to dissolve the union. So I welcome you and I say good morning, and please share the program and let us engage. Fanfa now tí wọ́n gbọ́ èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì, because English is not our language. Our language is known to us before the colonial came and destroyed the language and enforced English on us. And as we say on this platform, Britain decided to bring in their own agenda on millions of our people. And today, the consequences is being seen across the southwest part of Nigeria, where millions of our people have suffered the injustice of not having the benefit of the resources that benefited millions of other people around the world, yet majority of the Yoruba have not enjoyed this benefit. So on this particular channel, we discuss, we engage, we bring facts to millions of people across the globe on the reason why the union that was forced together in 1914 must now be dissolved. There are two ways. It's either we dissolve it peacefully, or it can become violent, and that could lead to many deaths, which we can avoid. We cannot be forced to live under a pretense that we are one, when definitely we are not one. We are people that have been around for thousands of years until Britain decided to come in and deceive many people after many years of slave trade. So if you're a Yoruba person, and in the hope that you would gain something out of Nigeria, because the argument is Nigeria is one. Nigeria is not a one country. Nigeria has many countries, and each of these countries can be better off on their own and have cordial relationship with others. But what we have seen for many years are the politicians deceiving Nigeria that we are better off to remain as one. But the argument and the fact speaks for themselves. We are not one, and there is no point forcing each other, especially on people that doesn't have the same relationship, culture, language as yourself. And this is exactly what we're going to be looking at again this morning, the first day of the month of September, as August ended yesterday. Welcome once again as we present to you fact, figures, and reason why a union forced together needs now to dissolve. Iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa, forílẹ̀ ibi wa, ká gbéga, ká gbéga, ká gbéga fálérí. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé bá ti bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká jọlá. Ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ní kẹ́jẹ́ ká máa lépa, tẹ̀síwájú fọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Ọmọ Oòduà dìde, bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ, ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Once again, a very good morning and welcome for those of you that have joined us and those that will have the privilege to listen to the replay back of this particular broadcast. What is Nigeria? And why should we be one? I can see that there's now a lot of engagement. A video was sent to me yesterday, and I've gone to look at it this morning. It has generated about 23,000 views on the YouTube. And I'll be telling you, but without playing the video due to copyright, and as we have said on this platform, any video we will tell you where you can go back and watch. But I've listened to the video before coming on air, and I'll kickstart from that video. There is an agenda by the Fulani to continue to pretend that we should be one. There is also some agenda by some Yorubas that we remain one, and in the interest of everybody, we are better off. As I was about to kickstart the program this morning, 6 hours ago on the official X handle of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he says, and I quote, "Dear Nigerians, I took an oath to serve all Nigerians, not a section. That oath guides every bridge, road, rail, power, and health project we deliver." And that is exactly what we have said, that Tinubu, the current President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is not there for the purpose of Yoruba alone. He is there in the hope to fix Nigeria for all Nigerians, which is not likely to be possible, regardless of his policy, regardless of whatever he's going to put together with his team, even if he's given another 4 years tenure. But many gullible people believe that Tinubu is there to serve our interest. But many do not realize that Tinubu is not a Yoruba president. When you look at the American president today, Donald Trump, he represents Americans. When you look at the Chinese premier, he represents the Chinese people. When you look at Germany, the German chancellor represents German citizens. And that goes on and on. All these countries I've mentioned, from each one of these countries, you only identify a country through the language. But as we know in Nigeria today, nobody has a language. We have those language, but we have been forced on the pretense that English is our official language, while Yoruba and the rest of the other language can sit somewhere without anybody thinking about the damage of removing our language and enforcing other languages that doesn't belong to us and doesn't represent any part of where we called Yoruba land today. Let's kickstart from what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu posted on his X handle yesterday, and I'll take you back to where 6 Nigerians get brutal honest with themselves. Yoruba versus Igbo versus Hausa. There's nothing called Hausa because Hausa have been taken away by the Fulani in 1804. So if anybody is telling you the northern part of Nigeria today belongs to the Hausa, throw that into the basket and dump it somewhere on the river to flow away. Because we know what Uthman Dan Fodio did on the lives of the Hausa people in the 18th century. We'll come back to that. But just for the benefit of those of you that have joined us and want to know some of what we are discussing, like I said, I will not play any part of the audio of this video, but you can go and look it up on YouTube, Yoruba versus Igbo versus Hausa. 6 Nigerians get brutally honest with themselves. You tend to hear all the time that it is due to the leadership problem that we are facing in Nigeria, and that is why we are not getting everything that we deserve. But have you ever asked the same question? Why does the people known as a French citizen, the German citizen, the Italian citizen, the Spanish citizen, and many of these countries, why are they getting something out of their country and not the opposite? I'm sure they have leadership problem as well, but the fact remains that they speak the same language, and that language means that it represents the people in those countries that I've mentioned. But we know that Tinubu from the southwest part of Nigeria is a Yoruba man, but they will never align with him, those Fulani, the Igbos, the Middle Belt, because they will always believe that Tinubu plays nepotism, even though there's nothing new, because the late president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, did more than playing nepotism by bringing in jihadis known as Fulani into Nigeria. And that created a lot of the terrorism, excuse me, that is currently playing out today. Even though arguments from some of those that were former member of the APC, I watched a video where the former governor of Kaduna State, Malam El-Rufai, was also talking about the insecurity. But Malam El-Rufai doesn't remember that the same insecurity that we're experiencing today in Nigeria was part of the APC agenda to remove Jonathan in 2014, when many parts of Nigeria was turned into bloodletting. I'm sure you remember the Chibok girls and many other atrocities. But yesterday, during an interview with Sheon Okinbaloye on Channels Television, El-Rufai spoke on so many things, but also some of what he said, tackling and how insecurity will be looked into. But they were part and parcel of those that brought in the jihadis into Nigeria in the first place. We'll come back to that. Let's quickly look at part of what was discussed that I've listened to in this interview or this discussion. 6 Nigerians trying to factor where we belong. One of them is not Hausa. They might pretend to you that they are Hausa. There's difference between Hausa and Fulani. Went on and on that we are better off as one. This has been part of the Britain Fulani agenda to give us the impression that should we dissolve or should we ever break away from the union, we would have problem with each other. There will be a system that cannot work. But that is a lie, because there are many countries around the world today that their population is not even up to Alimosho local government. Yet, the people from this country have what we call their true identity with their language. They are being well represented. They have a passport that works for them. Their government might not be perfect, but their government understand what humanity and governance is. For 26 years, from 1999 till date, many Nigerians have been fooled, have been deceived that democracy is just building up and it will take time before it eventually reach its peak time. But what many might not understand is you will become old with this fake information or fake understanding, as many of our parents were told the same thing, that Nigeria will be great. It's due to bad leadership. I would rather want a bad leadership in a Yoruba country that we can tackle face on than trying to tackle a union where I have to negotiate with people that are Fulanis among Nigerians. I have to negotiate with the Igbos, the Ijos, and many other ethnic groups within Nigeria. So it is now or never that we look into the issue of Nigeria. If otherwise, like I said, we're all sitting on the keg of gunpowder. We have no reason to be part of Nigeria. We have our landmass, we have the people, we have the language. All we need is to come together as Yoruba people, as Omodua, regardless of whatever you want to call it, and then we can form our own government. We can have our own police that speak Yoruba, that doesn't have to speak English. We can have our own economy that runs in our own language, because the economy of China is not run in English. The economy of Germany is not run in English. The economy of many of these countries are not run in English. So that means that we are capable to have our own economy, our policies written in Yoruba language rather than in this fraudulent English that was given to us. Happy New Month to those of you that have joined us. I will not be mentioning names because this morning, the first hour, I am communicating my message not just to Yoruba people, also to many that still are friends of Nigeria, that we, the Yorubas, have made up our mind to come out of this union, and we will do everything to enlighten, to engage our people from every part of the Southwest and those that are the diaspora as well. So that is the reason why the first hour, or maybe a little bit more, is currently in English. And like I always say, do not ever tell me to speak only Yoruba, because this is Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. We have a lot of international audience that also engage with us. Let me take you back quickly to what we've had a little bit from the analysis of what I've told you. Many comments so far is close to about 800 from a program that has lasted just one day. It shows that we are living in a fake union in disguise. Let's look at some of the comments to start with quickly. Anonymous 45. I am not Nigerian, but I love this channel because you can learn about other countries. Noso is the smartest and is the voice of the reason. Mr. Noso is an intelligent man. This is another comment. Love hearing him speak. Idibong also made solid point. Aziz is so passionate about Nigeria. Aziz might be another Fulani in disguise, calling himself a Yoruba man. No Yoruba man or woman should ever have any interest in Nigeria, especially what Britain did to our forefathers and our foremothers, taking them away for slave trade, putting them in line of danger, throwing them into the sea, and many never survived. Let's go further and pick more comments. Mr. Nosa is the type of African we need more. Critical thinking and solution. You will never gain or get any solution as you continue to promote a fake union. Let's go further. Mr. Nosa, the red cap man, is the only one on the panel with a well thought out and congruent point. He also appears to be genuine concern about Nigeria. Sadly, the Nigerian problem, much like that of other most African countries, is not individual problem. It is a systemical issue. Unfortunately, we all play around the core issue, dabble with a few symptoms here and there, and go back to sleep. That is part of the point that we have stick on in the last 5 years. Many people that have better knowledge about what we are doing are hiding away or do not want to be called names. Those professors, your doctors, your lawyers, you have them across every part of Nigeria today that are Yoruba, but yet they can't speak for you because of their interest in Nigeria. I can name Femi Falana, Afe Babalola, and many of them like that, you know, from Akoya to Femi Otedola to the Glow owner, Mike Adenuga, the Adeleke. They have more interest in Nigeria. But you might start asking, why are they more interested in one Nigeria and not a Yoruba country? It's because they are part of the game. So rather than us look into the reasons why we are suffering as Yoruba people, I have someone watching me from somewhere in Ogun State, but yet you might be told lies by your governor, that very soon you will have a cargo airline running from Ogun State. We were told the same thing from Ekiti, you know, where airports were never functioning to the fullest. Yet we have what it takes, you know, as Yoruba people, intelligent, hardworking, to build a country for ourselves. But what the governors want to build is a country on behalf of not Nigerians, not Yoruba people, but the Western world. From Ijebu, the Chinese have taken over your land. From Kwara, the Fulani continue to chase you out of your land. From Lagos State, most of you that think that you own Lagos State, you are probably waking up to realize that Lagos doesn't belong to you, because Lagos belongs to the West that controls your port. Apapa doesn't belong to you. Most of you wake up every day, you don't even know amount of resources, income coming from Apapa, the port. The port authority makes so much money, but a Yoruba will hardly even get a job. We know how Atiku made his money. We know how Peter Obi made their money, especially Peter Obi that continue to deceive the gullible ones as if he's an innocent other Nigeria. They're all criminals, okay? You believe any one of them, these are called criminals. From Peter Obi to Tinubu to Atiku, any of the politicians are criminals that continue to deceive us and tell lies that Nigeria will be great. As Britain told you, Nigeria will be a better place by the next 50 years. Most of you will probably be dead, because when you look at some of what is happening lately, you know, when we look at the healthcare, according to Nigeria, according to the World Health Organization, most Nigerians will not survive their 60 because your healthcare system has been destroyed. And many of you will likely, Nigeria has ranked poorly in the past World Healthcare Organization Health System Report. I am not making this up. Happy New Month once again as you're joining the broadcast. Share the program, love, like, comment. If you want to see what I'm showing, you'll have to go on the YouTube and also on the Facebook so that you can be able to monitor the screen. Let me quickly give you what World Health is saying so that you don't blame yourself because your health continue to decline. Many of you will die if you're not coming out of Nigeria before your 50th birthday. According to the World Health Organization, Nigeria has ranked poorly in past World Health Organization, WHO, Health System Report, with a reported ranking of 187 out of 191 countries. This is as far back as 2000. It might have changed slightly. But more recently, information from 2021, which is just about 4 years ago, indicated an improvement to 163 out of 191 countries. Though the specific index or year for this new data is not fully clarified. Nigeria is ranked the 6th globally for the highest number of tuberculosis, TB. Let's look at the summary briefly. In the early 2000s, Nigeria was ranked 187 out of 191. 187 out of 191 countries. This was in 2000. But they said there was a slight improvement from 187, it went back to 163. Still not a very good one for a country that has almost everything that you can think of. But those things does not belong to Nigeria. It belongs to the indigenous people to be used to look after yourself. Even the president, the former president and the current president still run out of Nigeria for their medical. Buhari died in London. From our information, Buhari was kept in a £3,000 daily paid by the government from April until he died, after like 3 months. You can multiply how much that is. I took you down to the hospital where Buhari died before anyone did. So we come back to that. I want to go back to and maybe let's see if we can find some other how organizations are eating the healthcare system in Nigeria. This was 2023. The nation's large population is putting so much pressure on the healthcare system. You will never get a quality healthcare in Nigeria. Who do I pity more? I pity the children, the minors, the women that are pregnant. I've seen in the last 72 hours, one in Akwa Ibom yesterday, there was a news that came out that a woman was taken to the hospital. And for good 4 hours, there was no doctor. And she needed a cesarean operation. You can guess what could have happened to her. I'll give you the story quickly before we move further, because on this channel, we come with facts and figures so that nobody will tell you during your pepper soup, when you're having your pepper soup, or you are in the beer parlor and somebody is telling you, oh, Nigeria will be great. Tell them Nigeria can never be great. It is not a leadership problem. The problem is that we have been told lies by Britain and many other countries that Nigeria is just going through a turbulent time and it will get better and better. But we know that it can never get better. It will get worse. So in the interest of every one of us, dissolution is still the only solution to all our problems. This is Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Let's go quickly and give you those background of what we know so far as we continue to deliberate and engage on why we need the union to dissolve. Well, if I can't bring that story up due to trying to log into my Instagram, I will just move on. But the story is already out there in the public. I've already posted it on our Facebook and our X handle, which is called Twitter. For those of you that might probably want to be confused, it's no longer called Twitter. It is now called X. All right, bear with me. I have to get the code from the WhatsApp. All right. Security is very paramount, especially for the job we do. So if anybody tries to log into my account, they would also have to put some code in. If otherwise, you will not have access to my account. Sorry for those of you. Let's get it right. Okay. All right. I've now managed to get into my Instagram. And let's go to Linda Ikeji quickly. This was yesterday. Two stories from two different parts of the country. One in the FCT in Abuja. Many of you might think that living in Abuja is luxury, but many people that live in Abuja are living in abject poverty. It's no different between you in Ijebu-Ode and those of you living in Ekiti, in Ijeru, in Ikorodu, in Okokomaiko. All these are the same because the country is not going to work for you. It might work for the politicians and their children. It might work for the criminals. And this is the story. This morning, I'm also seeing news coming out from Niger State, where looting of relief materials, the poverty is just too much. Let dissolve the union and let everybody go their separate ways. All right. This woman that you're watching right now on the screen, I can release the audio a little bit so that
Doctor was not on seat, oh. Doctor was not on duty, oh. This is an act of negligence, oh. Doctor was not on seat, oh. My sister was bleeding. She was due for CS. There was no doctor to operate her. She is dead, oh.
All right. May the soul of our sister rest in peace, and the baby both died. Let's read quickly what happened. The Akwa Ibom state government has commenced an investigation into the death of a mother and a newborn baby, or a newborn rather, because it was never given birth to anyway, he died, following a cesarean section at the General Hospital in Ikoti, Ekpene. One Nigeria, pray it doesn't happen to you. A video circulating on social media showed the woman's sister in the Firik, Amos, weeping profusely while accusing hospital staff of negligence in the death of mother and child. According to Firik, she brought her pregnant sister to the hospital this Saturday, okay? This is not last year. This is not 3 years ago, because some of you don't know what is happening in Nigeria because internet has been one of the biggest obstacles to mankind in that contraction. Many of these criminal organizations, from MTN to Glo to Airtel, have made you to think that internet must be expensive, even though it is not meant to be. When we have a Yoruba country, internet will be part and parcel of everything, from your home to your office to your school to your local government to the library. How many of you still have library across your local government? Can you put it in the comment section? Do you still have a working local government with a library? Shit whole country. According to her, today is the 1st. She took her sister on Saturday, August 30th, 2025, to the General Hospital, requiring an emergency cesarean section. But right inside a general hospital, she was told that there was no attending doctors. All the doctors are currently left Nigeria, trying to become somebody in Europe, Canada, even Ukraine, that is currently fighting a war with Russia in the last 3 years. Ukraine still have a working hospital. I don't think you hear what I said. Ukraine has been fighting war with Russia for the last 3 years, but they still have a working hospital. My question to many of you now is Nigeria at war? I'm sure most of you will tell me no. So if Nigeria is not at war, why is there no doctor at the hospital? Happy New Month to many of you that are joining us. Why is it that we don't have a full working hospital from the north to the middle belt to the southeast and the Yoruba land? Why? Why is it that we don't have a full working hospital? Because Nigeria is not a country and is not likely to work. Let's go back quickly to the story so that we can move on, because there's too many other areas I want to talk about. There was no doctor This was on Saturday, the 30th of August, 2025, somewhere in Akwa Ibom State. All effort to contact at least the attending doctor failed. All effort, just as your effort on a daily basis, many of you should be in wealth in Yoruba land. I have somebody that is that is into real estate, housing agency. You should be making money on a daily basis with Airbnb in Ogun State, in Ekiti State, in Ondo State. But how many foreigner wants to go to Ogun State that has no security? How many foreigners will travel down from, as at yesterday, I'm still privileged to have somebody calling me from the Heathrow airport, and I can see the busyness of that airport. And what does that mean? People that are traveling out of UK in the last few days before the school return to take their children, their family, even if it's a 5-day holiday. UK to Nigeria is 6 hours. Why don't we have the traffic of many British citizens traveling to Ibarapa, traveling to Ogun State, traveling to come down to visit Queen Shaba in Ogun State, to go to Ekiti, Ondo State, Kwara, Kogi, that they are not come down to these places because the Foreign Office in the UK continue to warn their citizens about traveling to that shithole country that they created in the first place. And rather than come to the UK, that might even be, rather than come to Nigeria, most of them will go to Turkey. Most of them will go to France. Most of your relatives that you have not seen, but most of them, you see them on Facebook posting pictures that they were on holiday to Italy, holiday to other countries, destination, but they're not coming to Nigeria because Nigeria has a lot of havoc. Many can die on the road traveling from Lagos to Ekiti, and most of them might not even return back. So this woman, sister, died because there was not a single doctor. Imagine a general hospital, not a single doctor to treat someone that needed emergency. How many of you will face similar consequences of emergency? Most of you are taking risk on a daily basis, but you pray to God that you will go out and you will come back alive. God does not fix the road. God does not fix hospital. Human fix hospital. It has been done before during the late saga of our legend, Awolowo. He did everything possibly best to give us a good health care, to give us security, to give us an economy that is working. The Nigerian house in the United Kingdom, in London precisely, at 10 Northumberland, was bought with cocoa money. You will expect that we should have progressed. All Odua investment destroyed by the Fulanis. And that is the reason why where we are today. The UCH is as useless as tissue paper. Yet, many hospitals across the Southwest are all dead on arrival. May our soul rest in peace. You would even think that they will find a doctor at the next general hospital. Probably maybe the doctor doesn't have a vehicle to take them to that next hospital where they needed emergency, which happens in the UK. If there's too much pressure somewhere due to emergency, they move people to the next hospital or bring in more resources to support. But this will never happen in Nigeria. Just pray that Nigeria doesn't happen to any of your family before it is too late, as we continue to call for dissolution. All effort to contact the attending doctor failed. The woman remained unattended, somebody that needed emergency straight away for 3 good hours. No doctor, nothing. This was on Saturday, the 30th of August, somewhere in Akwa Ibom. During which neither she nor our unborn baby receive necessary medical intervention. Can you move somebody on emergency to any general hospital in the US, in France, even in Ukraine? I'm talking about Ukraine now. Ukraine that is going into a serious war. They've been in war in the last 3 years. If somebody is pregnant and needed emergency and they find their way straight to the hospital, they will be treated. It shows that Nigeria is currently at war, but most of you are living in denial because you don't want to accept the truth, because the truth is bitter. And I pity many Yoruba people that continue to support a government, as Tinubu says, is not here for you alone. I'll come back to that in a minute. Tragically, the baby died when they finally operated the mother on Sunday morning. Imagine somebody that was there on Saturday. I don't know what time they got there on Saturday, but they were not operated until Sunday morning. The stress. That was that one. There was another one that we picked up where the woman died in Abuja. That is a different story as well. I believe due to the stress. One thing is, you can continue to live in denial that you don't want Nigeria to break, but you will never enjoy the dividends of Nigeria until you die. It's not my prayer, it's just a fact. Your parents never enjoyed the dividends of Nigeria, whether they are alive in their old age or they died because Nigeria failed each one of our parents. But it is easy for somebody that is doing charity that doesn't want Nigeria to dissolve, because free money from the diaspora, give them $100, share it among old people. Is that how they do in America? Share money among old people on the street. There's nothing wrong in that. It's just to support our people since the government failed. But for how long are we going to be in this situation? Nigeria is a Fulani terrorist republic. It's a Britain agenda, and it needs to dissolve as quickly as possible without wasting too much time. I've given you the background of that story because I was talking about the healthcare system in Nigeria, a failed healthcare. Let's quickly look at one story more from the healthcare, and we move out of that and we move to the next discussion. Sonny Okosu said, which way Nigeria? The which way now is let everybody go their separate ways. But you don't want that, yet you're suffering on a daily basis. You have left education, you left university. In the last how many years? What is the job you're doing right now? Like I said, the first hour is not just for you, and it is English for a purpose. And when I speak in English, it's because I am sending message. And this month I'll be speaking more English because we are now in the month of the United Nations General Assembly. So you'll be hearing more English because UN, New York will be completely busy with all countries around the world. And I want my message to reach out to all these countries as they're giving all their support for Palestinian to be recognized as a country. I'm looking forward to our UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer on what he's going to be doing on recognizing Palestinian as a state. France have done that. I hope France will recognize Yoruba as a state, as an independent country. Australia has recognized Palestinian. Even the late Buhari wanted a Palestinian state, but the evil Buhari and the one that never wanted good for Yoruba people, wanted to kill Igboho, request that Palestinian can have a country, yet he cares less whether Yoruba becomes a country. It's entirely up to us to fight our way through, but the way we can do that is with information. I will remove the love of Nigeria from your heart. You will cry each time you come on this platform with a lot of evidence and information that I share, because you don't have to be in Nigeria. A lot of us should have been great. A lot of us should have been better. A lot of us should have done better than what we are today. How many of you have 10 million in your account this morning? I'm not talking about the Yahoo boys. How many of you have 10 million naira in your account this morning? Good morning from those of you on the TikTok. I can't mention names because it's a direct message to the United Nations General Assembly that kickstart this month. But I'll be appreciating each one of you if you're not in a hurry. How many of you have 10 million? Should I take it down? How many of you have 5 million in your account? I am not talking about stolen money from any part of the government offer. It's 5 million. How many of you have 1 million? You should have that kind of money if you're running a good business in Nigeria, if it was a working country. 1 million naira will not give you 1 million safer in Benin Republic today. A 1 million naira will give you 300,000. If you get 350, you're lucky in the safer exchange. That means even Benin Republic, as small as it is far better off than Nigeria. But as argument will always be, Nigeria is the giant of Africa. Really? So why is it that many Nigerians don't have 1 million naira? They've done that on a purpose. And that purpose is because they don't want Yoruba people to be great. If we are just an ordinary farmer, and I use the word ordinary farmer, an ordinary farmer in the UK today, and I'm not talking about in a large scale, would have nothing less than half of that in pound sterling. Maybe not 1 million. An average farmer, he might not have the cash, but he have what we call the asset that he can use to go to the bank this morning, whether it is any of the high street bank. I don't want to mention their names, but those of you that knows UK very well could know names of the bank. And he can walk into the bank as a farmer in any part of the UK and request £500,000. And by the time he doesn't even have to tell them because they know he's a farmer, they would offer him £1 million. Can you go to any of your bank this morning in Nigeria, even in this government that says is working for you as a farmer, and request a loan of 1 million naira to run the operation of your farm business? It shows that you have been told lies in the last 26 years of democracy. Let's go back to the healthcare system before we move away from the healthcare. Like I said to you, you will be lucky if you survive your 60th birthday in Nigeria. And I can give you a breakdown of those that died before their 30th. Bamishe Anyanwola was raped, killed in Lagos State on a BRT. She was not even up to 38 years old. She was a fashion designer, never got any support from the government. Even after her death, Lagos State governor has neglected the family because I'm in real contact with the family behind the scene. She left a mother and a father. She was part of the breadwinner, but they took her life away. Tolulope Arutile from part of Kogi, Okun precisely, was killed. We know the reason why, because she was a brilliant Yoruba that wanted security for the people of Nigeria as a combat helicopter pilot, the first in the history of Nigeria. Yes, trained by Nigeria, killed by Nigeria. Delegiwa, no one have told us who killed Delegiwa, but we know Babangida killed Delegiwa. Let him sue me. Everybody knows that Babangida killed Delegiwa with a bomb parcel letter that was sent to him. Should we go further? Kudirat Abiola was killed. We know who was behind that. Let them kill Abiola died by the Fulanese. We know why they killed him. Funshaw Williams, a Yoruba man, was killed. No answer to who killed Funshaw Williams. Uncle Bolaige wanted Oduduwa Republic. We know the end of Uncle Bola Ige. Should we go further? Mohbad was killed. A brilliant Yoruba boy singing the best that nobody can sing outside the shore of Nigeria. Should we go further? Our organizations are hidden health, hidden. When they say something is hidden, let's look at the meaning quickly, because some words can be very, very tricky. Help or support in the achievement of something. So, what does hidden someone mean? Help giving, assistance. Many people in the diaspora would love to help. I have a family that have made up their mind that they've tried their best to make sure that they can put in a good healthcare facility somewhere in a state that I don't want to mention. They visited the governor, gave the plan of what they plan to do, but the governor is not interested in that project because this family are not ready to compromise with the government or the governor. I'll leave the state. This is something that I know because I was shared a lot of documents that went between them and the governor. I pity a lot of you. Yes, one of your governors in one of your states in the Southwest was not interested. This could have given you give and take a well-standard, at least 200 bed. 200 bed. If you know the meaning of what 200 bed is, standard at a very less fraction. They wanted to give back. But your governor is not interested because the governor wanted to compromise the project. So they pull it out. And they put it on hold until Nigeria will dissolve. They want to take it to another African country, but I'm giving them the guarantee that if a country dissolves quickly, it might be of benefit back again to the state. I pity a lot of you. Nigeria is a country with over 200 million people. What is the benefit of 200 million? Do we really need to be 200 million where they can't take care of myself, yourself, your family, your uncle, your next door neighbor? Have you checked on them this morning? Have you knocked on the door to make sure that they are out on their bed? Oh, because you can walk. Do you know how many people that have stroke sitting there waiting for miracles from one of the churches? A miracle doesn't come like that. You first need to go and do MRI scan and make sure that they can look after you, and then you can pray to God. Maybe you will come out of the stroke. How many of our people have kidney problem this morning? Have you checked on them? Do you know the cost of dialysis treatment in Lagos State, Ondo State, or your state this morning? Have you ever thought about it? You're not worried. It's none of your own business. Hustling and bustling. Everybody wants to make money in a system that has collapsed and crumbled. Why must we be 200 million when we already have at least 70 million plus Yoruba people that can make it out as quickly as possible and then support the others that are struggling? But we want to be dragged into the nonsense called Nigeria as Britain continue to tell you lies on a daily basis. And I'm sure many of you are waiting for another election. Fela Kuti, I was told. Let's go back quickly again. $200 million people, and is also the most populous country in Africa. This large population is putting so much pressure on the healthcare system. I don't think you heard what I just said. Those of you on Instagram, Koikimedia, we come back as soon as it goes down to the last minute. If you want a stable one, you go to OLAYOMI KOIKI without no interruption. Once again, a very good morning and happy new month in the month of September. Another few minutes to wrap it up, which is exactly 1 hour now. According to a 2021 World Health Organization survey, the healthcare system in Nigeria ranked number 4 worst in the world. We are in the month of United Nations General Assembly, and that means there will be more English broadcast. I am not communicating to you alone. It's a busy month, and I want many of my messages to reach many parts of those that will be traveling to US, New York precisely, for the United Nations General Assembly. And it's going to be the 80th session of the UN General Assembly that will be open in the next 8 days. The high-level general debate will run from 23rd to 27th, when Tinubu and the rest of the president across the globe. And the focus this year will be Palestinian case. And I'm looking forward to what our Prime Minister Keir Starmer would do, according to what he said a few weeks back regarding recognizing Palestinian as a state. But without pressure from what we are doing, you're not likely to get a recognized Yoruba country by any country, because our effort is still work in progress. Every one of us think that a country will just emerge without a lot of effort. But the UN General Assembly this year will focus on Palestinian. And I'm looking forward to what President Bola Tinubu will be saying if he's going to speak in regard to Palestinian case, when Yoruba people are also facing what we call genocide at the moment. So let's go back and finish up the part of the healthcare. The condition of the healthcare system in Nigeria, on average, I've given you the evidence, I don't have to repeat that again. On average, doctors attend to several patients daily with an official ratio of 1 doctor to 5,000 patients. That is the reason why even Mohbad end up using abele nurse. Unbelievable. Some of you don't even know the reason why those nurses were discharged off duty. Many of you are using abele nurse. Do I tell you to stop? Yes, if it's possible. Monty abele nurse yẹn tó ṣe lè kúrò lẹ́nu iṣẹ́. But we are all used to it. Ẹ bá mi pé àǹtí Mílíkà kó wá fún mi lómi. One doctor to 5,000 people. If you paketekete. Despite this fact, a lot of doctors are still living for greener pasture. This high workload has led to significant impact on the mental health of doctor. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn doctor tó wà ní Nàìjíríà orí wọn gan ti ń lọ sí mental stage torí kò ṣàǹfààní kankan. Mental, emotional, physical exhaustion as a result of a prolonged stress is a common issue among doctors worldwide, with about 40% to 50% of doctors experiencing this even in America. More than 75% of experienced have this problem in Nigeria. So Nigeria is double compared to other countries. Because country to now, they are not facing this problem. But in Nigeria, shikini unlosoke. The causes of this psychological stress has been linked to increased patient demand, long working hours, loss of life balance, inadequate salaries, and poor working environment. I didn't manage to see your general hospital as much I would have loved to, but I was able to see one or two healthcare centers, and you can tell they're right off. Nígbà tó invest sínú ẹ̀. Reportedly, a high percentage of Nigerian doctors have left the country because of the poor infrastructure and welfare condition they experience. We also recently UCH Ibadan. We saw what happened. March 2nd, when darkness fell on the UCH Ibadan. Àsìkò tí a gbọ́dọ̀ exit is now. Kí a lè tọ́jú ra wa lórí àìsàn tó ń ṣe wá. Àìsàn àkọ́kọ́ tó ń ṣe gbogbo wa ni pé Nàìjíríà, but fi gbà pa àìsàn tó ń ṣe yín ni. Ẹ ń rò pé leadership problem ni, àìsàn ni Nàìjíríà. Àwọn tó dẹ̀ fi àìsàn yẹn sí wa lára, wọ́n gbàdúrà kó kúrò lára yín. Àwọn náà ní àìsàn tiwọn, but wọ́n ń lo platform tilẹ̀ tiwa, wọ́n fi ń ṣe ìtọ́jú fáwọn tiwọn náà. Let's look at the darkness story. And then we move straight to what Tinubu has said that I picked up this morning. Self-determination is a right, but it's not going to be given to you just like that. No matter what, no country will give you your right. Your right, you must have to fight for it. And as it says there, under Article 3, indigenous people have the right to self-determination. Ìyẹn ló easy láti sọ, but láti gbà òun ni kókó bẹ̀. Let's go back quickly to our more article as we continue to share facts, statistics, and figures. Darkness. This was an article at the beginning of the first quarter of this year, March precisely. A chronicle of when darkness fell on University College Hospital Ibadan. February 6, 2025. The University College in Ibadan had been in blackout for 97 days. I hope they've rectified the problem. Surgeries are on hold. Patients are dying. And in the best teaching hospital in Nigeria, it is another Thursday. John Erimola, a medical student, reported from the dark. Nigeria ti wà nínú òkùnkùn. Àwa ní ká bọ́lẹ̀ nínú ẹ̀, ká wọnú ìmọ́lẹ̀ lọ. Ẹ̀ ń takú pé ẹ̀fẹ́. You blame yourself because of that. Let us go and face our leadership problem. Nínú ilé wa, bí France ṣe face it. France is going through a lot, just as the English are going through a lot. But nínú ilé wọn ló ti jọ ń go through. But our fẹ́ jọ go through nínú Nigeria, it is not likely that it's going to be possible. So we should exit now in the interest of every one of us. And I hope the message is clear today, the 1st of September 2025, on the Koikimedia network. Do not feel comfortable in Nigeria because you are benefiting a little bit. Let's go back quickly to the discussion. When I sat down to write the very first paragraph of this story, I couldn't have imagined that it would take over 100 days before the own of electricity returned to what should be the paragon of medical excellency in Nigeria, University College Hospital, UCH, in Ibadan. I did not emphasize the crisis in the healthcare delivery and the decline in the living conditions of medical students on the premises. I surely did not think it would conclude with the shoulder of protest on the street of Ibadan. Why are they going to come out and protest? Because of it, but over the course of 3 months, I witnessed all this. I witnessed even more. And I can tell you one thing or several things depending on how willing you are to read about casualties of Japa syndrome as observed in real time, of the tiny thread of medical education, Nigeria, or the pain in the eyes of patients. This is not an extreme retelling. The blackout in UCH was just that terrible. Every year, the Republican published the most ambitious writing. Okay, that's just, okay, now they want me to register to read the remaining part, but we've got the message of what we wanted to read from that. But 4 weeks ago, before we move out of that and go back to President Bola Tinubu post 6 hours ago, federal government electrification, UI, UCH comment Tinubu and Adelabu. The same usage just in March, enough for 90 days. The August, they've exchanged money behind the scene. And UI and UCH, when I do Tinubu ati Adelabu, I am not in there. I hope the fact is that they've given them what they want. And I hope many of you can visit UCH and get better treatment. That is just my hope. If it's not like that, then it's entirely up to you to demand for such. The Vice Chancellor, University of Ibadan, Professor Kayode Adebowale, as well as the Chief Medical Director, University College Hospital Ibadan, Professor Jesse Otegbayo, have commended the federal government for shortlisting the institution as beneficiary of the recent approved key electricity project. Was she approved any or Tishe? The doers spoke in their separate remarks while fielding questions from reporters at the induction ceremony for 29 graduates of the Department of Physiotherapy, College of Medicine, University of Ibadan. I'm sure these 29 Taba track one down after their graduation. All of them will love to japa. Taba lọ track wọn pé kọ́ bá wa wá àwọn 29 new graduates here, because the previous ones are still waiting to get a job. Koshipa Kawe is not that you're not educated, but you're not likely to secure a job. So graduating is a different thing. Getting that job is a different thing. Maybe this one would have benefited from that 200-bed hospital that project if they've been able to go through it, but your governors were not interested. Speaking, the University of Ibadan Vice Chancellor, who was elected at the inclusion of the premier institution on the list of beneficiaries, said the cost of power supply to run the institution has been a major challenge that has been gulping huge resources of the institution. Universities in the UK run 24/7 electricity. The universities in America runs 24/7 electricity. I have a family that shared their journey and even shared their, it's privilege when people do this to me, because especially those that have followed the reason why Tashen Paru break up. I'm going to take you to one country that this family had their daughter graduated. This is recent, and I have, their message here with their daughter graduation in hospitality. Kolonjeki Olalubarika Lilori. I just want to quickly see if I can pick up when that was shared with me. They shared their journey even up to when they were traveling for the graduation. Ìlú wo ni ọmọ wọn lọ tó ti lọ kàwé? I will share that with you in a minute. That's it. I have it right now. We were having the conversation in July 7, 2025. Kódà wọ́n share certificate ọmọ yẹn pẹ̀lú mi. They left Nigeria around fẹ́ padà síbi tí a ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ conversation yẹn. This was the picture of the graduation in June 20th. Master country for you in a minute. I believe that was my voice note that I sent to them when they shared the graduation of their daughter with me. I pity a lot of Yoruba people. I pity you because you're waiting for a country that has failed to support you. Watch your video, many things. On the June 29, one Mr. Koiki, welcome back from Africa. That was probably they realized that maybe not today. I told them I worked in the hotel myself in the UK for 10 years plus. It is a great industry. Fentoba Mokpa Hotel. Because for every room, for countries that are working, the rooms are booked for the whole year. Adli ni hotel tí ìlú tó bá ń ṣiṣẹ́. As an example, Turkey. Turkey made $60 billion from the tourism industry. Nigeria only ever get $1 billion from tourism because of insecurity. Money soon, she can use it for Yoruba country. That is why she ronú nìyẹn. Àwa ti ronú kọjá ibi tẹ́yìn ronú sí pé ṣe wà ní Nigeria. Gbogbo àwọn tó ti lọ sá tàtọ́ lọ ṣiṣẹ́ àtàwátà wà nílé kí gbogbo a match together ká lè bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí run country. But ẹ fẹ́ yẹn ẹ tún fẹ́ máa lọ dìbò 419 tó lè mú kankan jáde. Mo ti sọ ìlú yẹn o, but máa fún yín ní ìlú yẹn in a minute. Just to know that I communicate with many people that share things with me. I believe I sent a voice note. Let me bring the audio so that you can hear. These are conversations between myself and member of our movement. Don't share experience on wọn tó lọ kàwé níta. Ó ṣe gbogbo yẹn ló ní privilege yẹn.
Ọ̀dọ̀ aláwa aṣọ yín padà délé. Hòtẹ́ẹ̀lì mi náà ti ṣiṣẹ́ for more than 15 years plus. After 15 years, mo ti ṣiṣẹ́ 10 years plus, going to 15. Kò sí sector tí mo mọ̀ nínú hospitality industry. Kódà mo ṣiṣẹ́ ní stadium, big industry ni. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó yà wọ̀nyẹn wá ní $60 billion ní tourism tó wọ Turkey ní ọdọọdún.
Ó wà lórí mi ni, kò ń ṣe tó ṣe máa sọ fún mi. This was a message in June. I will not play their own audio for their own safety. I sent another one on July 4.
They are bringing the work closer.
Okay, these are some of my recording. What share we go certificate here? Certificate and Lele. Final International. Our course to share. Introduction to Marketing. Opase. International Business. Opase. Grade C, Econ D. Accommodation Industry. Summer Internship. Entrepreneurship in Tourism. Tourism Policy and Planning. I worked in the hospitality industry. Event of in next year, I think planning year. Lane, I think planning. Event of in August next year. What if you are what in planning? Ìjókòó tó máa jókòó, coffee mélòó ló máa mu, pen mélòó ló máa wà ní yàrá, omi ló máa replenish. Everything as details to details. Ìjókòó sínú ìlú òfò, ó sọ pé Nàìjíríà máa dá. These can be replicated across every part of Yoruba land. Tabani country tiwa. Into Botimo so only replicated in Nigeria. Because Fulani no nije gbadun, Fulani a máa jí òyìnbó gbé lójoojúmọ́. And that is why the UK government, I wanted to share that with us earlier. Quickly. Does not want their citizens to travel anyhow into Nigeria. Because Nigeria is a country of a citizen, but I only know Nigeria as their part of their agenda. This is the UK government website, www.gov.uk. www.Oduduwa Yoruba whatever fake. /foreign travel. You have some people that are so adamant, Teban Soro, or might defend Nigeria indirectly. you will know that they have problem. You know that, you can tell. Blood wọn ṣì wà lára, Nàìjíríà ṣì wà nínú blood wọn, ó ràn nínú blood wọn, ó ràn nínú tèmi náà, mo mọ bó ṣe máa ń rí. Mo mọ bó ṣe máa ń rí. Ara wọn máa run, ẹ̀jẹ̀ wọn máa ru gbùrùgbùrù. Tẹ́ bá ti sọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà báyìí, ẹ̀jẹ̀ wọn máa ru, wọn máa compare Nàìjíríà pẹ̀lú other country. Kí ni kàn pẹ̀lú other country? Nàìjíríà ni mò ń sọ, ìlú òfò tí Yorùbá ń jìyà nínú ẹ̀, sí tó kàn pẹ̀lú other country. But you can tell. I worked in the Nigerian community, so kò jọ mí lójú. When you get some of those individuals, I worked with the Nigerian, Abike Dabiri mọ̀ mi back to back. Mo ní direct number lọ́wọ́, mo communicate pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ ni. Yeah. Gbogbo àwọn politicians yẹn pátá, kó tó land, lọ́ máa ti pè wá, bọ́ máa dé o, ká pàdé wọn lẹ́mbàsí o. What I just wanted to know is that there was a communication, and I've proven that. But let's look at what the foreign travel advice to Nigeria. Ìlú òfò, ìlú àdánwò, ìlú jàun, ìlú jànwé, ìlú tí Fúlàní jíyàn gbé, ìlú téèyàn lọ sí hospital for 3 hours kò sí doctor, ìlú tẹ̀mí ò jẹ́ anything sẹ́ni tó wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ tẹ́mi tí bọ́lá rẹ̀ tó bá ẹni tẹ́mi fi bọ́lá rẹ̀ tó bá tún gbé lọ sí hospital, ìwọ lọ́lọ́pàá ló máa mú dání, even though it is not your responsibility. But I understand. Táwọn kan bá ti gbọ́rọ̀ Nàìjíríà báyìí bá ṣe ń sọ báyìí, ẹ̀jẹ̀ wọn máa rú gbùrùgbùrùgbùrù kí ló sọ gbùrùgbùrùgbùrù, èmi ó yé mi, mo understand. Ara ń ta ẹ́, bàbá Nàìjíríà, ìyá Nàìjíríà, ọmọ Nàìjíríà, ara ẹ̀ ń ru àbí ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń ru bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà, ó jẹ́ má fún rẹ ní BP. Torí àwọn tó wà lábroad, táwọn bá ronú bẹ́ẹ̀, ìwọ má dá wọn lóhùn, sórí ìwọ tó wà ń lé lè ní bá sọ̀rọ̀, ìwọ tó wà ń lé ni mo ṣe ń bá sọ̀rọ̀, sórí ẹ̀ tó wà lábroad tó ti jápa, ó sì wà better off more than anything. Kódà kó má níwèé lábroad, tó bá sick wá tọ́jú ẹ̀. Kódà kó ṣe jigijigi, kó lóyún, tó bá gbé dé hospital, wọ́n bí bá ńlá doctor kan dá kó ní kàn ní treated, gbogbo ẹni mo fi sọ, kó má níwèé ni mo ń sọ yìí. So tá bá sọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà, ṣe tó wà lábúrò tó bá rí àwọn comment kankan tó tára wọn ń ru yẹn, ó lè jẹ́ kò sí nílé, òun náà ti jápa, but ó fi kọ́lé, ó fi ralẹ̀, tó bá wá gbalẹ̀ yẹn tán lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ní sá á máa wá Ìgbòho tó máa wá ṣàánú ẹ̀. Àìmọye cases tí mo ti rí o, táwọn tó support Yorùbá nation tó ti gbé kéèsì wá, wọ́n ti gbalẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ wa Kóìkì, ẹ bá mi wá Ìgbòho kó jọ. Tàbá wá béèrè pé ṣẹ́yìn náà ṣe Yorùbá ni, a máa ń follow yín, a kàn ń tẹ̀lé yín. Tẹ́ bá ní kó fún wa lórúkọ Facebook page wọn ká lọ wò bí wọ́n tẹ̀ fi wá, wọ́n share nothing. Ẹni bá lóyún tó níwèé ní UK lèmi sọ, mo mọ Amẹ́ríkà o, tó bá lóyún wọ́n bí dókítà náà dá kó má treat ẹ pé o wọnú bẹ̀ o ní emergency, pé o níwèé, wọ́n nítorí pé o níwèé kó má ṣe jigijigi. This family, like I said, máa sọ ìlú yẹn, but yẹ ká clear. Warning and insurance, wọ́n ṣe update lay, ó ṣì wà current lórí UK government website. Advice fún àwọn tó fẹ́ lọ Nàìjíríà ni o. Warning and insurance, wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ pé still current, tó bá ní nǹkan still, wọ́n dẹ̀ updated ní 28th of August. That means pé wọ́n ṣe updated ní updated on the 28th of August 2025. Ó dẹ̀ ṣì wà current títí bá ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí. Ó lè wá dọ̀la kan tún drop it down pé ìjọba yẹn ó ti wà okay o. Ṣé máa wà very careful tẹ́ bá wà lórí platform táwọn kan máa ń comment, àwọn kan sí Nàìjíríà mọ́. Kódà ẹni tó wà ní Morocco, ó sì better off ìwọ tó wà Nàìjíríà o. Ìwọ tó wà Nàìjíríà lè ní bá sọ̀rọ̀. Wò bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ṣe wà báyìí nísìnyí tájọ wà Nàìjíríà, bí tí kankan bá ṣe ní nísìnyí gbágá tí bá ṣe lè wọ plane máa dé London, mo ní ìwé tó máa gbé mi wọ London, màá lọ ṣe gbogbo tó bá ní tó bá já àyẹ̀wò tí mo fi lọ ṣe lọ́hùn. Bó ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lórí fún wọ, ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ lórí fún fámílì ẹ? Ṣé tó bá dé general hospital láàárọ̀ yìí, ṣé o lè rí àyẹ̀wò pẹ̀lú owó tó wà lákàntẹ̀? Tó mo bí ilé ẹ̀kan mo níṣẹ́ lówó lákàntì, a gbé láti 1 million, ààrẹ nìkan kan tó sọ pé òun ní 1 million. Mo ò bá àwọn ọmọ yahoo sọ̀rọ̀ tó dá àwọn olè làwọn yẹn ń jà, àwọn kọ̀ǹdọ́nù ẹni ń jalè ní bíbà. Jọ ẹlòmíà ní ẹ òyìnbó ń jà wá lólè, àwọn náà ìyẹn ò ṣe lórí platform tiwa. Èjẹ̀níú ọmọ Yorùbá láàárọ̀ yìí tó ní 1 million naira tó dẹ̀ ń ṣòwò drug, tó ń ṣòwò olè, ó ń ṣòwò government, owó tiẹ̀, owó àgùn tiẹ̀ pé o ṣiṣẹ́, ó wà lákàntẹ̀, o fi ń ṣe turnover. Àìtí rẹ̀ tó dá wa lóhùn látàárọ̀. New information on exemption for yellow fever vaccine requirement for entering Nigeria. Now, areas where FCDO advise again. Gbogbo bí tí mo dárúkọ yìí, gbogbo bí tí mo dárúkọ yìí, ìwọ tó wà nílé náà tó wà nílé, máa wá kó wa lọ sọ́nà ọbẹ̀. Ó sì better off kó wà láàárín wa ju pé ká máa wọ́ ẹ lọ. Bọ́ bá jí ẹgbẹ́ àní raise owó fún ẹ níbi báyìí. Torí in tó bá mú Britain máa san wọn bí tí mo fẹ́ dárúkọ yìí, tó bá mú wọ lọ sọ́nà ọbẹ̀ tó bá ti jí ẹgbẹ́ àbí kankan bá ṣe àwo lọ nìyẹn. Ó better off kó ṣe wà láàárín wa. Ó better off kó wà láàárín wa tí kankan bá tẹ̀ ṣe a ṣe lè sáré sọ́tún. Ó ṣe gbogbo èèyàn náà la lè help, but ojú àánú pọ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Tẹ́ bá ti rí wọn bá ti wọlé bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, Fúlàní ni. Eléyìí tó wọlé nísìn tó kọ́mẹ́ǹtì Fúlàní ni. Fúlàní ni ọmọ àlè. Ó ní let them catch you for treason. Ìwọ tẹ̀ jẹ́ kọ́ sí catch mi náà wọ́n fẹ́. Ìwọ má wọ́rì nípa àyàn ọmọ àlè. Fúlàní. Àwọn tó fẹ́ Nàìjíríà nìyẹn. Fúlàní. Má lọ Borno State. Whatever nǹkan tó o bá ṣe, má dé Borno rárá. Òun ló fi ṣe number 1. Má lọ Yobe. Kódà kó sọ fún ẹ pé business yẹn ó máa fún ẹ ní owó tó pọ̀, máa bọ̀ ní Yobe State, àwo lọ nìyẹn, má débẹ̀. Má gba Adamawa State kọjá, má gba Gombe. These are the 4 states tó kọ́kọ́ wà lókè. It shows that ibẹ̀ yẹn danger gidi ni, ó ń tanná gidi. Wọ́n wá tún wá ní advice against all but essential travel. Essential mi pé tó bá necessary. Sorry, the first one yẹn, advice against má tẹ̀ lọ bẹ̀yẹn rárá, wọ́n sọ fún àwọn ọmọ wọn. Bauchi State, North East ní gbogbo ibi tẹ́ mọ̀ dárúkọ yìí. Ní North West, má lọ Kaduna, Katsina, Zamfara. Essential, Kano, Jigawa, Sokoto, but within 20 kilometer border of Niger and Kebbi, má débẹ̀ rárá. It's a very hot spot bed. Anything can happen. Ní North Central, Niger State, Kogi State, gbogbo alamọ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Kogi. Wọ́n send àwọn fídíò kan sí mi ní àti Kogi. I will not say anything more than that. Plateau State, gbogbo alamọ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Plateau State. Gbogbo alamọ tí T.Y. Danjuma sọ is from Plateau State. Taraba State, South East. Mo wo fídíò àwọn Biafra kan lánàá lórí X. Ìkan náà àwọn general àwọn ọmọ ó dà ń pé bí arrow safety ni. Ọmọ bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn, ọmọ ìlú wọn náà ni. Bọ́n náà máa fi sílẹ̀. Táwọn oníṣẹ́ kankan fún. Wọ́n ti wọ́n ẹ̀. I'm sure some of you have seen that video. Wọ́n náà wọ́n ní ṣe nǹkan fún àwọn afisílẹ̀. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mọ̀ yìí, wọ́n náà wọ́n ní ṣe nǹkan fún, but wọ́n náà wọ́n fẹ́ rí anything tó gbé bọ̀n dání ni, tó gbé kinní kan dání ni. And we know that some of you will say, yẹn ni, kò sí kankan. Ẹni bá kàn ló mọ̀. Ìgbòho rescue àwọn kan when Simon Ekpa was still out. Àti ìyàwó, àti ọmọ, àti bàbá ni wọ́n gbé dúró ní South East. Òun tẹ̀ tí wọ́n ń lo siren kọjá lọ sí ọ̀nà ọ̀bẹ. Àwọn tẹ̀ fi gbọ́ ọ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan tó ń jẹ́ siren. We were able to intervene quickly. Ọwọ́ àwọn tó tún wá lọ bọ́ sí kò tẹ̀ tí wọ́n ń ṣe ọwọ́ tàwọn ti Simon Ekpa. Because àwọn náà ní different fractions lókè lọ́hùn. But due to relationship ta ní pẹ̀lú àwọn Simon, kódà àwọn kan tí ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ lóyè pé báwo la ṣe rí gbà, because wọ́n expect pé bàbá yẹn máa jáde, because ọwọ́ àwọn tó wà yẹn ò dá rárá. Bàdúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run pé Ọlọ́run fún Simon ṣe látara relationship ta ní pẹ̀lú wọn. Gbogbo document ẹni yẹn lọ gbà, wọ́n gba ayé lọ́sìn yẹn náà, wọ́n gbà mọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀, but everything was returned back and it came out alive. So be careful. Tàbá ń sọ̀rọ̀ ní bíbá tọ́ba ní ó lè gbàbẹ̀ kọjá, but ní Monday tó ní kó má gbàbẹ̀ kọjá, bó bá wọn ẹ̀ kó lọ síbẹ̀, kó ní olórí kunkun nìyẹn. Gọ́vnà gan sí nílé níjọ́ Monday, sit at home. Gọ́vnà gan wà l'Abuja kò sí nílé, ìwọ ló mọ tó ń wá kiri, jẹ́ kó gbé ẹ, àwo lọ nìyẹn. Tọ́ba ti gbé ẹ, ó mọ̀ pé Simon ò sí nílé, so relationship wa pẹ̀lú wọn nísìn gbogbo ẹ̀ ó slow down. Tọ́ba ti gbé ẹ gbogbo abẹ kọjá, àwo lọ nìyẹn. Mo rí fídíò bọ̀bọ́ yẹn lánàá, ó ń wọ́n ní bọ̀bọ́ yẹn pé má yẹ ká tún rí ẹ kó tún ṣe yàmàyàmà gbàgbé àkọjá o. Àwọn ti ìbọn làwọn ń lò, èyí táwa ṣe ń fẹnu sọ̀rọ̀, ìbọn làwọn ń lò, àwọn kí àwọn fẹ́ jà gidi, ẹni máa kú ló máa kú, ẹni máa yè máa yè. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ń sọ, àwọn fìbọn ṣeré ní ìbò lọ́wọ́ lórí Facebook, èmi ò ní ṣó ẹ lọ sórí Twitter. Àná lọ́wọ́ ni mo rí fídíò yẹn. Àwọn rẹ́dì láti kú, o mọ̀ pàwọ̀ rẹ̀ fi kú, ọlọ́dẹ̀ níjà kú. Torí ẹnu làwa níbi àjàkàrà. Bọ̀ lẹ́rọ ẹnu yìí, máa ṣe analysis débi pé tó bá ń gbọ́rọ̀ Nàìjíríà báyìí, inú á máa bí ẹ, ibi tèmi gúdù sí nìyẹn. Torí mi ni máa yọ ẹ̀mí ẹ kúrò lára Nàìjíríà. Mo dẹ̀ dáwọn kan mọ̀ tó bá ti wọlé, ara yín máa gbóná gbùrùgbùrùgbùrù, ẹ wá gbọ́rọ̀ Nàìjíríà gbùrùgbùrùgbùrù, farabalẹ̀. Mo sọ fún ẹ pọ́dún 10 ni mo ṣe láti bá Nàìjíríà community ṣiṣẹ́. Wọ́n mọ̀ mí nínú embassy back to back. So gbogbo ìtí wọ́n ṣe ń sọ para ẹ̀ gbóná yẹn, ara tèmi náà ó ti gbóná bẹ́ẹ̀ ní sinmi ara ẹ̀ láìpẹ́ ìlú òfò lákan ṣe wà láàfún. Ọlọ́mọdé àṣàṣedà púpọ̀ nù yín, púpọ̀ nù wa gan kí tẹ̀sán fẹ́ àti ṣàṣedànù with the hope pé Nàìjíríà máa dá. Gbé pálí òfò dání, pálí tó ní mínì. Ọba kan ló ń fi pálí ìlú mi ìwọ̀n wá. Ìyẹn ọ̀tẹ̀ yẹ kó jẹ́ kí ó jẹ́ reflector fún ẹ. Ìtí Koiki máa ń sọ lédè yìí, àṣẹ ọba gan ti já sí. Kò ní di visa náà, tó bá ti dé airport, kó kọ̀ ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì ni. Ṣé wọn náà lè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀? Tí wọn náà bá ti lè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, máa sọ pé Nàìjíríà máa dá. Ìyẹn ló easy jù. Tí wọn náà bá ti lè ṣe bí ọba yẹn, tó lè sáré lọ tó sáré bọ̀. Àbí tó dàbí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù. Ṣé rántí pé Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù ó escape ni? He was almost killed as well during the June 12. They end up in UK pẹ̀lú Tinubu. Gbogbo wọn claim asylum. Ọlọ́run bá wọn ṣe, wọ́n rí ìwé gbà. Wọ́n rá àwọn ọmọ bí wọ́n gba British passport. So tẹ bá rí tó ń fò káàkiri tó ń ṣe tó ń sọ fún yín pé òun tó ẹ̀ṣú ṣe PDP mọ́, ADC làwọn ń ṣe. Ìtàwọn máa jẹ làwọn wá lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí. Ó ní British passport lọ́wọ́ bó ṣe wà yẹn, visa kan ló ń gbà káàkiri o. So èmi náà ní sí tèmi wọ́n pariwo pé ká pín, èmi náà ní ìwé o. Bó ṣe rí mi, visa kan ni mo fi padà lọ sí UK o. Èmi náà ní ìwé o. So ká lè jọ balance ẹ̀, ká lè mẹ́ni tó ń sọ títọ́ àtẹni tó ń parọ́ fúnra wọn. èmi náà lè ṣe báwọn náà ṣe ń ṣe kí n máa ṣe bí Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù kí ló ń ṣe èmi náà ní nẹ́tíwọ̀kì yẹn lọ́wọ́ gbogbo tó ń ṣe ìwé ovation tó dálẹ̀ bí UK ló ti dálẹ̀ Koikimedia tèmi náà dálẹ̀ bí UK mo ti dálẹ̀ ó yẹ kémi náà wálé nísìn kí n máa ṣe big boy kémi náà máa ṣe big boy kọ́ ní Range Rover kọ́ dẹ̀ fún mi náà mi kan ká dẹ̀ connect mọ́ gbogbo èèyàn gbogbo ẹni gbowó ní o ẹ máa lè kúrò nílùú máa ní mo ń bọ̀ níbẹ̀ yẹn torí mo ti fún yín lórúkọ ìlú tí mo náà lè ti kàwé ó send message sí mi ọmọ yẹn bí a bá bẹ́ẹ̀ ló send ẹ̀ sọ wá forward ẹ̀ sí mi torí mo ní nọ́mbà ọmọ yẹn I graduated from máa forúkọ yunifásitì yẹn sílẹ̀ but ìlú tó ti graduate yẹn ni màá wá ṣàlàyé fẹ́yìn ìlú yẹn ni mo fẹ́ kẹ́yìn mọ̀ let's end this àti fún yín ní security ti UK against Nigeria now máa ẹ̀kẹ́ni kankan sọ fún ẹ pé in tó ń ṣe yẹn wọ́n máa mú ẹ sí sọ fún ọ pé kọ́ mú gbogbo wa sí ok tó bá dé stage kan ẹ kù mọ̀ ní gbogbo wa sì máa kó síta kò tí ì dé kù mọ̀ nísìn torí pé kò tí ì wọnú blood history wa dáadáa tó nígbà tí Britain ń bọ̀ Britain ò mugi wá ìbọn lọ́ fi wọ́n bá gbogbo wa jà ìbọn ní mo wo múfì kan lánàá lórí Netflix àìmọye ẹ̀mí ní Britain padànù bí àṣàyàn kan tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ ó dà pé lórí TikTok pé táwa bá preach non-violent àwọn wèrè yóò preach non-violent nígbà táwọn wà they were violent gidi ni o tó bá ṣe ìtọ́fẹ́ wá fi kùmọ̀ wá fi fún orí ẹ̀ àìmọye àwọn ìtọ́ jù sómi tí crocodile jẹ nígbà tó ń lọ ẹ tó bá kọ̀ wúkọ́ pẹ́kẹ́ nígbà tó ń kó wọn ní slave trade ọ́ jù sínú omi kó máa kí ṣáàkì jẹ́ dànù ìyẹn ni bàbá wa professor ṣe apology fún àwọn tó kó lẹ́rú lọ tẹ́ bá rántí ní iye kan ní kó má bínú kó yọ́nú sí wa nìkan gbogbo ẹ̀mí tó ń bẹ nínú ocean àwọn ẹ̀mí kan wà ń bẹ tó lọ tó ń bínú pé àtàwọn dànù as ẹrú I don't think some of you understand what it means tí a ti ń gbé àti ń wọṣọ àríra wa báyìí àwọn ẹ̀mí kan bínú àwọn ẹ̀mí kan bínú rẹpẹtẹ àmọ́ àwọn tó ń ṣe ètùtù oríṣiríṣi tó ń ṣe prayer lóríṣiríṣi ọ̀nà tó lókàlùkù mọ̀ láti fi please àwọn ẹ̀mí yẹn torí ẹ̀mí yẹn náà fẹ́ kúrò nílẹ̀ tẹ́ ẹ tèbémi lèmi fẹ́ lọ London ẹ̀mí kan nígbà kan rí wọn sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ kúrò lórí ilẹ̀ wọn wọ́n force wọn lọ kúrò lórí ilẹ̀ wọn ni do you know what it means to force people to steal people to take people kan ṣòwò ẹrú tó kó gbogbo alẹ́ rú òròpọ̀jọ́ kan lọ́ fi kó wa lẹ́rú ni òròpọ̀ 100 years ni kò ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ 100 years we're talking about more than 500 years so àwọn tó kó lẹ́rú yẹn àtẹ̀ntó dọ̀hún àtẹ̀ntó bọ́ lórí tọ́jú sórí omi ẹ̀mí kan ni wọ́n ẹ̀mí kan lèmi náà báyìí ẹ̀mí kan ni wọ́n náà ẹ̀mí kan ní Tinubu tẹ́ ń pariwo Tinubu ẹ̀mí kan ló ní kò lẹ́mí méjì wọ́n lè rẹ̀mí fún ọ bọ̀ ẹ̀mí kan ló ní níjọ́ tọ́lọ́jọ́ dẹ̀ bá dé amú ẹ̀mí yẹn lọ ṣíkèlè èèyàn máa kú ni inú plane ló máa kú sí ni inú mọ́tò ló máa kú sí ni accident ni ọ̀nà kan náà la máa fi lọ kọ́lọ́njà kúure náà ni tó ẹ lò irú Babangida ò ní kúure gbogbo ẹnu mo fi sọ àwa ń gbàdúrà pé kó má tẹ̀ tí kò ní ṣe kò ní kúure irú Buhari àkútúkú ẹ̀ lọ́hùn tẹ̀kí ló wá ń bà wọ́n lẹ́rù jàgàbá tẹ́ sọ ẹ̀mí méjì ló wà lára ẹ̀mí kan ni ọmọ tí Dangote trọ́kì pa nísìn ẹ̀mí kan ni Dangote fúnra rẹ̀ gan ẹ̀mí kan ni but àwọn produce ẹ̀mí míì tó máa dilẹ̀ yẹn mú àwa kẹrẹ́ àwọ̀ tẹ̀lé ẹlòmíì ò tẹ̀lé bímọ mọ́ nísìn nígbà tí ìyá ti mú wọn àìmọye bàbá tó ti sá kúrò nílé, kò lè tọ́jú ìyàwó, kò lè tọ́jú ọmọ. A very good morning as we move to the second stage. That's 1 hour 45 minutes. Let's take you now to that country. Tí arábìnrin tó ti gba BSc in tourism management. I studied tourism and hotel management. Kọ́lọ̀ ń jẹ́ kó fi ríṣẹ́ rí. Kọ́lọ̀ ń jẹ́ àtètè rí ilẹ̀ wa gbà. Kí a lè become the tourist destination. I don't think some of you understand. We become the tourist destination of the world. We think about jí láàárọ̀ anywhere in the world. Tó bá ń béèrè pé mo ló fẹ́ lọ kó máa náà fẹ́ lọ lẹ Oòduà. Kí ló fẹ́ lọ ṣe ń bẹ̀? Ó mọ tán ṣe ń bẹ̀ yẹn ni. Ó débẹ̀ rí ni. Débẹ̀ kó lọ wo bí ilé ayé ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀. Àwa máa parọ́ fún wa. Ilé ayé bẹ̀rẹ̀ níbì kan. Ilé ayé bẹ̀rẹ̀ níbì kan. We are the one tọ̀bẹ̀ Elédùmarè dáadáa. Òyìnbó wa wọ́n mú gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n yí padà. Ìwọ fẹ́ lọ wo Premier League. Bó tó bá jẹ́ pé ilẹ̀ Oòduà ló ní league yẹn ni, àwọn náà mọ̀ tá máa ṣe. Destroy all our faculty system. Àwa lè dá ronú mọ́. Tàbá wá ń sọ A, ẹlòmíà máa sọ B. Tàbá sọ B, ẹlòmíà máa sọ Z. Àmúlùmálà. Wọ́n pẹ̀lú kan ní Cyprus. Mo kẹ́yìn yẹn wá. Cyprus níbẹ̀ lọ́mọ yẹn ti kàwé. Kò tó Àlímọ̀ṣọ́ local government in terms of population. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ èèyàn tí ó kú lọ́spítù. The fatality rate tiwọn is 1.39 births per woman as at 2023. Their GDP growth rate is 3.4% annual change. Their gross domestic product is 36.33 billion. Their GDP per capita is $38,000. That's average of a tonba. $1.3 million. Cyprus, officially the Republic of Cyprus, is just an island. Ireland in the Eastern Mediterranean Sea. It is culturally identity. Shall our culturally identity in Nigeria, Lenny? The answer is no. We are not. We are not culturally identity in Nigeria because Mukima Bawa Daniel Adeyemi, thanks for the super chat the other day. And how is London today? The Banki Wahara UK. Can't wait to be back. I've missed my children. I'll go back and spend some time with them. But we still have work to do. But my father was school. But they get the first couple of days. Can't move to school. That's the joy of every parent. She be one of the mama want to lọ sí school yẹn. Àbí ojú àmà tiẹ̀ pé tó bá dé school ni Mr. Lágbájá máa sanwó last time. The tenure tó lọ tán Sylvester tó ti sanwó. Ẹ tuntun mọ́mọ́ ìdé ni ẹ wá negotiate ní public school. Àbí gbogbo yẹn ló sanwó school. Ní public school ẹ mọ̀ kàn gbọ́ ní public school náà. Okay, what the one tell us private school. Gbogbo anísìn oríkàlùkù wa náà àwọn ta ló ti gba bill látọ̀dọ̀ family ẹ̀. Àwọn ọmọ fẹ́ wọ school. Èmi ti gba bill. Àbúrò mi ti send the bill sí mi. Ó list gbogbo ẹ̀ báyìí. Mo kàn sọ fún pé I don't have any money now. Ó dẹ̀ ní okay. Tí bá dẹ̀ wá ní 100,000 ní 50,000 ní màá fún. Ó ti send the bill sí mi. Àwọn ọmọ méjì èyí tí school wọn máa cost àti gbogbo expenses. Ìlú yẹn ló ní kémi àti ẹ kájọ wá jókòó kájọ máa operate. How wicked some of us are. But kò lè jọ mí lójú because campaign trail máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ nísìnyí. ayé àwọn olóṣèlú, ayé pọ́parọ́ látòkè délẹ̀, àìbáyé wọn ṣe rí nìyẹn. They are good at that. Àwọn máa ṣe this, àwọn máa ṣe that, gbogbo nǹkan làwọn máa ṣe fún wa láti 25 years. Èwo ló ṣe fún yín? Nothing but lies. Let's leave that and now return back to President Bola Tinubu sọ̀rọ̀ 6 hours ago. I don't want to dive into too much of the Cyprus, but if you talk my ethical, I'll leave it like that. And I've given you that many of us don't know the impact of what Nigeria is doing on our lives. Bàbá yẹn nígbà táwọn dé Turkey airport tí máa ń sọ yẹn, wọ́n ní Mr. Koiki, tó bá rí èrò tó wọnú airport yẹn, èrò tó ń wọnú airport yẹn, wọ́n ròyìn ọ́fìtì. Bíbi ṣe sọ gẹ́lẹ́ náà lórí nígbà táwọn land sí Turkey tó wọnú airport yẹn. What? Bó ṣe jẹ́ kó máa rí ní gbogbo state wa nìyẹn, káwọn èèyàn máa land. Ó ń ṣe Lagos state nìkan ló yẹ kí airport wà. Ó yẹ kí airport wà ní gbogbo state kankan nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Káwọn èèyàn máa land, káwọn kan máa lọ, káwọn kan máa land, káwọn kan máa lọ, so that ìwọ tí o kàn ń sùn tó ń jí, wàá lè máa ríṣẹ́ ṣe. Wàá lè máa rí ọwọ́ mú lọ sílé. But many of us continue to pray that Nigeria will be great. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ẹni tó bá ní Tinubu mọ̀ nípa drug, wọ́n lówó drug l'Amẹ́ríkà, wọ́n sanwó drug s'account. I don't think you know what the meaning is like that. Owó drug, wọ́n san s'account, ó náwó òmù. Ṣé àwọn èèyàn lè sanwó s'account mi nísìnyí kí n má mọ̀ pé irú owó ò lè san sí mi? Púpọ̀ náà àwọn èèyàn tẹ̀mọ́ mí ní caliphate. Fulani agenda is real. Mo ní fídíò tí mo fi wọ̀n wá lẹ́ẹ̀kan fẹ́yìn tẹ́ṣẹ̀ wọlé. Gbogbo wọn ti mọ̀ nísìn pé we are making a lot of you to know things you don't know before. So àwọn náà máa gbé àwọn kan jáde, ó yẹ lọ sọ̀rọ̀, ṣé ká wà together. I'm not going to play the video because I don't have any reason to play it. And to bá fẹ́ wò kó lọ sí orí page ẹni kó lọ wò. This was yesterday, I believe. Yoruba versus Igbo versus Hausa, kò sí kankan tó ń jẹ́ Hausa. Bọ̀bọ̀ tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ tó pé rẹ̀ l'Hausa níbi ìbàí Fúlàní ni. Mo ń wọ Ọba Jẹ́bà lánàá lórí Facebook. Tọ́ni wọ̀ san sálárì fún. Wọ́n nígbà tó fi jọba, bàbá yẹn tó fi jọba, nígbà tí Sàràkí dé ló yọ kúrò. Ẹ mọ̀ kí mo ti sọ sórí àwọn Sàràkí fún yín. Ta ló mọ̀ bí tí bàbá Sàràkí ti wá? Bàbá Sàràkí, Sàràkí kan náà, Bùkọ́lá Sàràkí yẹn. I've done the video before. Ta ló rántí ibi tí mo ní bàbá ẹ̀ ti wá? Ta ló rántí ibi tí mo ní bàbá Sàràkí ti wá? You can't remember. Mali. So easy fún kó yọ ọba Yorùbá tó fi sí Jẹ́bà, because bí ṣe gbọ́ fídíò yẹn, wọ́n ní Sàràkí ló wọlé dé as a governor, ló yọ oyè yẹn kúrò, bọ̀ bàbá yẹn gbé lọ sí court, bàbá yẹn dẹ̀ win. Bó bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí wọ́n tọ́jú bàbá yẹn. So kí lẹ́yìn expect ẹni tó wá láti Mali, ọmọ Fúlàní? Ẹ ṣe gan ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wọlé. So ẹni tó wá láti Mali, so níbo lẹ̀ ní ẹ̀, níbo ló máa fi sí? Ṣọ́dọ̀ tiwa ló máa fi sí ni àbọ́dọ̀ tí wọ́n lọ́hùn? This is why we are saying that wọ́n ti wọlé ju bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń rò lọ. Owó tó wà lọ́wọ́ Sàràkí nísìnyí kò sọ̀rọ̀ 5 billion naira. Àìtí mọ̀ èyí tó wà ní dọ́là, ní pounds. níbo dẹ̀ ló ti rówó yẹn, orílẹ̀ tiwa ló ti rówó yẹn, and they are empowering themselves. So ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ tá a bá fọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀ pátá, wọ́n ní for over 23 years ni wọ́n ti san salary fún bàbá yẹn, àbí ṣé ẹ right nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ sọ yìí, àbí kí ni nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ kọ síbẹ̀ yẹn mo get it. The same drug baron was in Japan, Los Angeles to Brazil, back to location 419. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ó lọ Japan, àwọn yẹn tètè ya jáde pé irọ́ ni o, àwọn oníkẹ́ni kankan àwọn máa fún ní visa o. Gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì náà ya jáde pé kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́. Brazil kan tí yìí ni kò sí kankan tí Brazil fi ṣe, wọ́n ní direct flight máa wà láti Nàìjíríà lọ sí Brazil lọ́la Swani. Òkè nípa jẹ́bà yẹn. Ẹ ṣe gan MSK. So ó easy fún Sàràkí láti yọ ọba yẹn kúrò because Sàràkí Fúlàní ni. Fúlàní ni wọ́n, parako Fúlàní. Bọ̀tẹ́ bá rí nísìnyí mọ̀ pé Fúlàní ni. Fulan Wazobia. Ó wá kọ́ àwọn eléyìí sí panel. Ó yá ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ kí lẹ fẹ́. Èyí tó pèrè láwùsá wá ní òun nìkan ni mò ń gbọ́ tó ń tà ní defend Nàìjíríà nígbà tí mo gbọ́ the very few clip of it tó sẹ́ndẹ̀ sí mi tí mo wò láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ka tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ program. But Nigeria we are better off. Ẹlòmí àtẹni we are good in music. Ṣé kò sáwọn ọmọ Germany tó ń kọrin ni tọ́tẹ̀ ní country tiwọn? Why should Davido or why should Wizkid, why should Tiwa Savage, àwọn tó jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá láàrin wọn, why should we be part of Nigeria? Kọ́ dá dúró bí ọmọ Yorùbá náà. Kọ́ dẹ̀ máa lọ represent wa. Mo tẹ̀ ń rí Tiwa Savage ní O2 pẹ̀lú ọmọ ẹ̀ tó ń rap. Happy New Month. There's nothing like Hausa is a fraud. Fulani to take over there. So mo kàn fẹ́ fẹ́lẹ̀ wọ̀nyí. Like I said, when I watched it, I'm not going to play the video. And to buy interest color because I play video on the platform. But when I looked at it, I realized that àwọn kan náà ló gbé agenda ilé nísìn pé kí ló mean by Nigerians get brutally honest with themselves. 6 Nigerians get brutally honest with themselves. They want to participate in a future cruise video. Okay, you want to participate. So when I look at the timestamp, dividing Nigeria will be more beneficial to our people. That was about 10 minutes in the video. In about 24 minutes, you can see the Nigerian citizens are just as bad as its leader, Wiri. You know, the Nigerian citizen. I would rather want Yoruba citizen to be bad. Why should, I said it yesterday, why should we want to have election or fellow campaign in the Igbo? What is my business with the Igbo people? Let Igbo stay on their own. Let Hausa, Fulani, Ijo. The Japa culture is unacceptable and selfish, really. Tobale Japa. Don't let any fool tells you abroad that we might Japa to bury on anti Japa Katuba country down faith. Japa. I have told you that. I am not one of those diaspora that tell you my Japa. To buy down, told you about it, fair enough. We must square out. In 20 years, I believe Nigeria will be great again. We relate. And whoever said that in 20 years, he told us no one about no criminals. In 20 years, Nigeria will be better. Oloshi. Onyara, Onyoshi, Onyeberibe. Isiewu, Anwuli. In 20 years, Nigeria will be great again. Interpreting is often one year. Somebody, one of them said it in 53 minutes, 52 seconds. In 20 years, I will be in my 60, give and take. I think it was 70. Abi? In 20 years, Nigeria will be better. Oloshi. I'm going to sobe nu. In 20 years, Nigeria will be better. Àwọn sẹ́wìn bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwọn wèrè àwọn amúni ṣe kinní kan. Àwọn òsínwín ẹni tẹ́ wà lórí Koikimedia ó tún máa lọ because ó ti pé 1 hour àti wà ní 2 hours in the program. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìyá mi kò mad people gba àwọn màmá kọ́lé gbogbo wọn lọ ti kọ́lé òdì òpè táwọn bá rí táyà o ẹ ṣáà bá wa kọ́ bọ́ngálò kan wọ́n ti equip tẹ̀ àwọn á padà ṣé irú àwọn ìyá yẹn lè padà wá tí hospital tó ṣiṣẹ́ títí tó ṣiṣẹ́. Ẹ ṣé gan-an ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí ètò láti wà in the Yoruba part of it. Mo ní the first hour is in English because at one month of United Nations General Assembly. And I want some of my message to direct to that part. So Tabanshi program, I might use the first hour in English. So since you have not seen me on TikTok, you have not seen me on Facebook, YouTube, where have I been? I should ask you, where have you been? Not asking me. Moki, when people don't see you on a particular platform, where are you still in Yoruba Nation? Now that Tinubu is there, they know they do Yoruba Nation anymore. I won't sing with them, you know. When I sometimes with Biafra they talk, you know, I'm sorry about they are already inside their own country. Nnamdi Kanu is locked in the prison. Simon Ekpa is going through a court case. I follow that court case. You come and be asking Yoruba people, hey, this and that. You are not yet in your country, even with your, you know, redeclaration in November. Still, mess Burukulawa by. Since Simon Ekpa is out of the picture, mess Burukulawa. Enuwoko. Benjamin Enuwoko. Enuwoko. They are fighting each other. Ngozi Oraboeze àti ìtọ́jẹ́ finance minister wọn àtàwọn kan tó wá pẹ́ra wọn ní DOS àwọn èèyàn tẹ̀ believe in autopilot ìjà burúkú wà láàrin wọn. But they are more interested in the because more power she need the backbone àwa lálẹ́ kán gbogbo ẹ̀ lọ́rùn. One more, the Igbo knows that it's the Yoruba people that can break it, especially our Tanshi movement about serious. The only difference is that I want to low weapon, not too long. They're using full weapon now. I saw the video yesterday, most suffering. Full weapon ni àwọn Biafra ń lò lókè lọ́hùn. Àwọn kí nípa àtọ́jú ìbọn wọn fìbọn wọn ni ẹni máa kú ló máa kú ẹni máa yẹ àbọ̀ àwa sì ń ṣe àwọn oníbọn o. But anyway, a máa fi bá wọn jà lórí social media. That's just the difference between us and them. And the reason why táwọn ṣe ń lò bọ́n ni pé àwọn ti face ogun rí. They've been into a war before. So they are ready to fight it square out. But they have not pushed enough. There's still a governor in Anambra. There's a governor in Imo State. So what are they talking about that they have Biafra? They don't have a Biafra country yet. They don't have a country yet because they are still not in control of that country. Biafra, even after their redeclaration. And not all of them believe in that redeclaration as well. Just doesn't accept the autopilot. So and I believe Tinubu wants to use Nnamdi Kanu as a bait going into 2027. Tinubu ya will come back bait no fellow because he will tell the the Fulani Sherry Nnamdi Kanu ma to sile fún yín o but kò lè tún Nnamdi Kanu sílẹ̀. I don't know why he's holding Nnamdi Kanu. He has no reason to hold him. Tinubu has been in the same situation before. Why are you holding Nnamdi Kanu? Release him and let him go. Doesn't mean that you will give him what he wants. So what's the difference between it? So releasing Nnamdi Kanu, but Nnamdi Kanu is like an obstacle that Britain doesn't want Tinubu to release. Britain must offer Tinubu, but not releasing Nnamdi Kanu. Whatever you are going to do, keep that man inside that prison. Don't release him. Britain, I don't most often our conscience ní ọ̀fífẹ́ tẹ́ sọ pé wọ́n bára wọn jà ní problem wà ní kan wà pẹ̀lú wọn bá. No, I don't see them as a problem. I have met the two of them physically. I was sitting right in front of Ooni Orisha báyìí, live and direct. Ọ̀nà ọmọ Koiki ọmọ mi dáadáa ní Òòṣà kan lòun náà. Gbogbo tí Koikimedia ń sọ ni mò ń gbọ́. Ó bú wa, ó sọ̀rọ̀, but kò ń ṣe pé àmọ́ tó yẹ ká ṣe. Mo rí bàbá wa láàfin, wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ private, ìyẹn ṣe fún public consumption. But Britain ni the biggest problem I'm facing in Nigeria. Anybody tell you any other thing to throw it down? Britain is the husband, Fulani is the wife. And until we tackle that part, because Nnamdi Kanu will be there until after 2027, even if he's going to get released. Tinubu will never release Nnamdi Kanu. Akọ̀mọ̀ pé torí pressure máa wà bí a fún Ìgbòho ní freedom ẹ̀, because àwọn onírìṣà ti dá sí, Aláàfin ti dá sí, ọba 17 ti dá sí. He will have more reason because Ìgbòho kì í ṣe ọ̀daràn. Ìgbòho must, kí ni Ìgbòho ṣe? Kò ṣe anything now. So kí ni Ìgbòho ṣe? Wọ́n pààyàn ẹ̀, ó dìde, ṣé kó má dìde ni? Nígbà tá ní bàbá aláṣọ funfun tó káàkiri tó máa jọ̀pá gbàgàgbàgàgbàgà, o rò pé mo lè dárúkọ ẹni Gani Adams ni mo ń sọ, o rò pé mi bẹ̀rù anybody. Talking about Gani Adams, responsibility Gani Adams ni to have look after our security, because it's the generalismo. Jagunjagun ni. But kọ́ máa lọ pàtí káàkiri, kọ́ máa jọ̀pá, yíyan dà. Let's face the Fulani, ká bá wọn jà. A train our no, I'll tell you one go. You think we are scared to carry gun? I carry gun, kí ló wà nínú ká carry gun. A train wa ká wọnú go ká lọ bá wọn jà. Àwọn Igbo dẹ̀ ló ta Nnamdi Kanu, because nobody knows Nnamdi Kanu was living in Kenya. Àwọn ará wọn náà ló ta náà, kí ni problem àwa pẹ̀lú yẹn? So don't come on our platform and be saying, where have you been? Kí ni kàn pẹ̀lú where have I been? You know, ní kọ́kọ́ ṣe pẹ̀lú ẹ̀yin. Face your Biafra, let's face our own, our quest. So let's come back to Inti Tinubu sọ lórí X. I saw that as I was about to kickstart, and I've told you many times, believe Tinubu at your own peril. Tó bó ṣe wà yẹn, gbogbo ọ̀nà ló máa lò pé kí 2027 yẹn kó tún lè já mọ́ òun lọ́wọ́ padà. He's good at that. He's a politician. Believe any politician, they're liars. Even in UK and America, never trust any politicians. Oh, yeah, you look on the South Africa. Let's go and read what Tinubu said. A very good morning and welcome. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́tí darapọ̀ mọ́ wa látòkè láti ìgbà tá a ti wọnú ètò. Mo kí wa pé happy new month. Ọlọ́run tó lé ní tó lọ́la á wà pẹ̀lú wa, àbú ẹ̀ kò ní kúrò lórí wa. Fúlàní ò ní jí wa gbé. Àní rìn nígbà tí táǹkà epo wèrè tó káàkiri tó ní break. Ìkan ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́yìn ọ̀sẹ̀ sí mi lánàá láti opposite NDLA office tí PMS tanker tó jábọ́ tó ṣe gbà ọ́. Ṣáwà careful. Máa yín mú pé tí mò ń sọ ní bíbá, all these are agenda, even if it's a bad road. Mo kí Adams Ọlámilékan káàárọ̀, mo kí Comfort Anúolúwapọ̀, mo mọ̀ pé brother wa ló wà nínú ẹ̀. Bá tí yàn bá ní fóònù, á lo fóònù ìyàwó ẹ̀. Àtẹ̀dúpẹ́ pé ìyàwó yín fi fóònù wọn lẹ̀ kí ẹ̀ ń rí lò, ẹ bá ń kí ìyàwó yín. Mo kí Ọlá Akínyẹmí, Mustapha Adétúnjí Oyèlẹ́sọ̀, mo kí yín o. Prince Adébáyọ̀ Ṣítù, ìyàwó Táíwò Kíkẹ́ Fásọmí, báwo ni Qatar? Owó wọn strong débi pé ò lè mú jáde lọ sẹ́ni ìwẹ̀ ọ̀bí ẹ̀dá. Àwọn tó ń gbé bẹ̀ sọ, báwo ló ṣe fẹ́ gbówó wọn jáde? O rò pé pounds nìkan ló strong ni. Yẹmí Fátókí, mo bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ lánàá, wá get in touch pẹ̀lú yẹn ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ẹ̀ṣẹ́ kó àdúró tì. Èèyàn wà Nàìjíríà ó ṣe fún wa lówó. Kò ṣe gbogbo èèyàn nìyí. Àwọn ilé ìyà jẹ wọ́n, ẹ̀gbọ́n tẹ̀ rí yẹn ìyà jẹ rárá, comfortable pa, gbogbo Lagos Island bò wọ́n mọ̀ pé táwọn bá wọ̀ òkè ṣé gbogbo yẹn lẹ́yìn kan máa tọrọ owó lọ́wọ́ àwọn lójoojúmọ́ ẹ bá fún wa ní kankan agbó ọ wá sọ Tinubu sọ gbogbo àwọn ọmọ wa sọ wọ́n dọmọ ọ̀tá sọ wọ́n agbèrò fún wa ní kankan gọtẹkọ kódà kó bá mú fóònù dání lásán wá gbá fóònù yẹn mọ́lẹ̀ wá you know can't live in that kind of society àwọn ò lè gbèrú society yẹn o àwa táwa ti gbé labroad a lè gbé nínú ẹ̀yin ó convenient fẹ́yìn but àwa ò lè gbé nínú kind of that society mọ́ mo kẹ́ ẹ̀ tẹ́ ń darapọ̀ wọn lórí TikTok ìmọ̀ àti Yẹmí Fátókì sì sọ̀rọ̀ lánàá ìyà ò jẹ wọ́n eléyìí ìyà ò jẹ fact mo máa ń tajọ́ àánú movement tó ń gbé nílé tí ìyà ò jẹ so kò ready láti fi travel ni o ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ ló fi travel àwọn kan ní privilege láti travel kó padà lọ́jọ́ kò sá abroad ọ̀tọ́ ti wo pé a máa rún mọ́ ó yẹ pé businesses máa ó ń decline ni mo pàdé Kenny Bread nígbà tá à ń lọ sílé Ifẹ̀ ó tẹ̀lé ṣé mo gbà tó tẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ rí mi ó ní èmi ní Kenny Bread mi ò máa sọ Kenny Bread èmi ò mọ pa tí wọ́n ti kó nu movement yìí gbogbo láàárọ̀ ọwọ́ ló wà náà kéèyàn ní iléeṣẹ́ búrẹ́dì kó di pé ó di méjì mọ́ lọ́wọ́ ń di mẹ́ta mọ́ lọ́wọ́ iléeṣẹ́ búrẹ́dì tó pọ̀ ó sọ̀rọ̀ bí ètí flour jẹ́ ní we can't live in this kind of destroy gbogbo business àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá wọn wá ní Dangote ní ìkọlómù ni wọn wá fún ní monopoly flour tí òun ló lórí méjì torí pé ó ṣe ń rí ibì kan gbé wọlé ni àbí ó ṣe ń rí ibì kan gbé wọlé ni torí a ṣe aláwọ̀ kí pọ́ọ̀tì máa ṣiṣẹ́ torí gbogbo wa bá pé nígbà torí wa bá pé dáadáa àmọ́ta máa ṣe orí wa ṣe ń reset ni ẹ̀wọ̀n pé tí wọ́n bá reset fóònù ó máa take time á ti wà ní bí i 50% à ń reboot ni ṣẹ́rí tá a bá ti dé 100 gbogbo ilé tá à ń ṣe àwọn akọ́lá máa ṣe mo ti sọ fún yín bí àwọn ṣòwò rẹ ló máa ṣó in tó ń lọ torí mi ò ní time láti jókòó báyìí kò tí à ń reboot ni àti dọ́dọ̀ àwọn ọba wa nísìn àti sunkún sí wọn lọ́rùn àwọn kan tẹ̀ tó ní ká lọ bá àwọn gómìnà èyí fi máa gbádùn àbí kì í Sanwó-Olú máa wọ sneakers kó máa gbádùn àbí wọn náà ń bọ̀dé náà tún padà bọ̀ wọn ní Ṣèyí Tinubu náà máa di gọ́vnà àwọn ìyá wa kan ní Kóìkì ń tẹ máa ṣe ẹ̀jẹ̀ kó wà lábẹ́ ẹkùn yín lórí wọ́n tún jí láàárọ̀ bó ṣe máa fi fóònù pè yàn nìyẹn tó bá gbé nísìnyí ọ̀rọ̀ owó náà ni. mo kí ẹ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí so wá bá mi reach out sí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Yẹmí Fátókì ẹ̀kọ́ àdúró tí gbogbo gbà Abdullahi mo mọ̀ pé data ni tójọ́ mẹ́ta ìyàwó àtọmọ́ ń kọ́ kò yí sí fẹ́ tó travel tó padà wálé kó má lè travel padà bọ̀ kò sí nǹkan tó máa bí ẹnu ju pé wà máa rántí tó bá kọ̀ tẹ̀ràn ìgbà ẹbí mi náà wà ń bẹ̀ pẹ̀ṣẹ̀ èmi náà wà láfíríkà báyìí ìgbà mi ẹ̀mí mi àná nísìnyí wọ́n lọ ṣe sausage tí mo gbé wá mo jẹ ọkàn díẹ̀ ó tún sún mi mo ní kọ́ da padà ìgbà mi ó lè jẹ bisikì nǹkan pápọ̀ máa ọkọ̀ ọ̀sẹ̀ ní London ó máa ń ṣe nǹkan báyìí fẹ́ni tó bá ti gbé labroad ìwọ tó gbé labroad kò lè understand but ráwọ̀ tá a ti gbé ní UK sometimes I feel like I just want to experience ìyẹn làwọn náà ṣe máa kí ló rò pé ọba yẹn ṣe sáré lọ Canada they want to experience it because that experience will still be there bó ṣe lọ yẹn nísìn inú bọ́ọ̀sì wọn wàá mú oríṣiríṣi kan wá wàá jẹ fúnjọ́ mélòó kan tó bá tó tójọ́ mélòó kan wá tún lọ ó lọ renew passport ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wá ń fi passport Canada wọn wá we can wo the best country in the world pé bọ̀ náà ó ní but yẹn that means pé kò lè ever dá lọ sọ fún yín yẹn ìwọ wá ń defend Nàìjíríà ìwọ tó ní passport Canada má lọ wọ ọmọ Canada kan tó máa fẹ́ tí wọn náà máa gba passport ó lè jẹ́ ọmọ Amẹ́ríkà ni èèyàn kan gbé passport Canada dání ó sọ fún ẹ pé Canada is the best country in the world it's the best country in the world ó dẹ̀ inú ẹ̀ dẹ̀ ń dùn àbí ìbí wọn sọ fẹ́ pé Nàìjíríà ò lè dá ọba yẹn náà máa pé Nàìjíríà ò lè dá because bó ṣe jọba yẹn ó yẹ kó dá passport yẹn padà pé lórí ilẹ̀ wa la wà nísìnyí a máa gbádùn but wọ́n fẹ́ ní experience láti tí wọ́n jáde tán nídìí visa. mo kí ẹ Martins àkíyàwó ẹ mo kí Dáre mo kí bàbá wa Ṣẹ́gun mo kí Mr. Kayode Omotayo good morning my brother God bless you too as well mo kí ẹlẹ́ǹkan sọ Mọ́bọ́lájí, mo kí bàbá mi dáadáa. Kí ló dé tí mo rí nígbà tá a wá sí Èkìtì, àbí ó ti táìtì ni? A ti yọ sí Lẹ́kìtì náà, ẹ̀dẹ̀ yọjú sí wa níjọ́ ta wá yẹn, bàbá wa Olúwọlé Ọ̀ṣọ́, dáàdì. I know that time yẹn very short, ọ̀rọ̀ fún wa láyè dáadáa, a máa jókòó, a máa jẹyán, gbogbo a máa celebrate, a máa free, a lè move, kò sẹ́ni tó máa dẹ́rù bara wọn. Ẹ tó bá bára wa ṣe, agbéra wa lọ sílé ẹjọ́, a ṣe case, àwa òkè, a náwó lọ́wọ́, a ní business, àtọ́jú ara wa, tá à ń sọ nìyẹn. Mo kí bàbá wa Clef Walex. It seems the people are very comfortable with Nigeria. By now, there's no reason for Nigeria to be in existence. No wonder I mean. Etuni, Nigeria is a Fulani terrorist republic. Mr. Darede, which way Nigeria? Baba wa Walex tuni olórí burúkú sinwi dédé ló máa ṣe wọ́n Nigeria. Ṣe wọ́n Nigeria. Pastor and travel káàkiri àgbáyé. Ìmáàmù náà ti ń gbádùn nísìn. Ẹ̀rí gba àwọn ìmáàmù yẹn. Táwọn ìmáàmù yẹn sì ń ṣàìsùn sà. Púpọ̀ nínú wọn báyìí ọ̀dà bí àwọn bàbá Sheikh Adams tí gbogbo wọn tọ́ jẹ́ pé àwọn yẹn ti gbàwẹ̀ gbogbo ara wọn ti gbẹ. Gbogbo àwọn máàmù ti máa ń rí nísìn ikú wọn máa ń tò yìí. Ṣe ni máa ń wọ́ndà pé ṣé ìmáàmù ni bàbá ìṣá? Ìmáàmù mi ikùn ẹ̀ tó bẹ́ẹ̀ àwa gan ta níkùn gan sẹ̀ ojoojúmọ́ ni à ń ṣe exercise àbí kí n máa ṣọ́ ilé nǹkan kan tí máa ń sáré báyìí láàrin inú lébè tí máa máa jog. Gbogbo ìmáàmù ló ń gbádùn. Mo kí ìyàwó Elaine ọ̀bẹ Elédùmarè bá wà pẹ̀lú yín. Mo kí Lékan Ládépọ̀ Nurudeen. Babaláwo gan náà fi lọ London lọ́wọ́ yìí, fi lọ Amẹ́ríkà, lọ kó ṣàánú. Mo kí Prince Adéwálé, ọ̀kan pèèyàn ní Prince, kò ń ṣe pet name. Àwọn ọba lọ́la nìyẹn. Bí ẹgbà tí gbogbo bá ti dàgbà díẹ̀, rú àwọn yẹn ló máa jọba, làwọn náà máa lọ máa dọ̀bálẹ̀ fún. Kábíyèsí o. Ìbòlè lè ti dé ọmọ Fúlàní. Ẹ bá ti rí wọn bá ti wọlé lórí TikTok yẹn, àbí àwọn ọmọ Dúpọ̀ Onítìrì. Ọmọ Fúlàní, ọmọ àlè. Fúlàní ẹ dá Fúlàní mọ̀. Tó bá ti dé ẹ ti máa rí wọn, Fúlàní ló pọ̀ láàrin wọn. Wọ́n ti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, bó kù díẹ̀. Ìta máa ṣe fún yín abẹ́kùn wa ló wà. Kò ń ṣe ta máa sọ lórí social media. Ó súnmọ́ bọ̀ ni, ó ń rìpúùtù lọ́wọ́ ni. Mo kí ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kan sí Ọmọbọ́lájí Abdullahi. Mo kí bàbá wa Clef Walex. Wọ́n ní Kwara State is siege. Ìyẹn Kwara tẹ̀tí lọ. Wọ́n kò ṣàánú wọn níbẹ̀. Should be a big warning and signal for Yoruba land. Next might be Oyo. Next might be Oyo. Ó kù díẹ̀ ni. Ìta máa ṣe fún Fúlàní, ó kù díẹ̀. Fúlàní ò defeat wa rí. Ò defeat wa rí. Kò dẹ̀ níwájú generation tí wà ló máa defeat wa. Láyé. Kódà bẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́ wa, bẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́ yàwó nú wa, bẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́ ọkọ nú wa, láyé ẹ̀ ní defeat wa. Ète yẹn pẹ̀lú Britain yẹn, ó máa wà destroy. Ọ̀dọ̀ tó máa wà destroy là ń bá lọ yìí. À ń reboot ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ni. Torí ẹnu táwa fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, mo sọ fún yín lánàá pé ẹni tó bá ní mò ní tún dé láàárọ̀ yìí, òun ló máa ti kú kéèmí tó dé láàárọ̀ yìí. Tẹ bá sàkó ló wọlé, torí àwa náà dúró. Àdúró. Torí àmọ̀ró èèyàn tẹ jẹ́ gbogbo yín pátá tẹ̀ ń sáré lọ́tún lósì, ọmọ àlè Fúlàní. Ó ń béèrè owó tí bàbá ẹ̀ ń bẹ̀zù, ọmọ àlè. Kò béèrè lọ́wọ́ Dangote, gbogbo owó tí Dangote fi kọ́ refinery níbo ló ti rí? Wọ́n fi odidi Central Bank, wọ́n fi odidi Nàìjíríà, wọ́n fi lọ yáwó níta, wọ́n pè ní Dangote refinery. Wọ́n ń bọ̀ ní, wọ́n ní ọjọ́ ń bọ̀ lólúwa wí tí wèrè máa jáde síta tolúkálukú máa sáré wìtì wátà kí ọjí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ńbẹ̀ yẹn. Eré tatata ó ń bọ̀ ní. Tàbá slow down pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ kò ṣe pé kúrò lórí, ó ń bọ̀ lọ́lọ́run wí. ìyà tẹ́ ti fi jẹ wá yẹn ò ń bọ̀ ni à ń rìbùtẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ni àdúgbò pé àwọn bàbá ti mọ̀ pé gbogbo ta ti sọ ó yé wọn ṣọba máa náà mọ̀ pé mo sọ pé a máa jà wọ́n mọ̀ pé mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo ti mẹ́nu kúrò níbẹ̀ bá a kò sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí ni diplomacy òun náà là ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nígbà tá a bá kó gbogbo ẹ̀ sórí tébù fún yín tẹ́ bá wá ní ẹ̀fẹ́ ok ó ń bọ̀ lọ́lọ́run wí mo kí ẹ Bishop Adésínà ó ń bọ̀ ni but n tó máa dájà yẹn lẹ̀ ó ń súnmọ́ bọ̀ torí Tinubu ló máa lọ mú ìjà wá kẹrí ìjà tẹ́ ẹ̀ fi jà yẹn Tinubu ló máa lọ mú wá Tinubu ìjà tí gbogbo wa ń sá fún tá a sá fún pé àfẹ́jà yẹn Tinubu ló máa lọ tọwọ́ bọ ṣọ̀gbọ̀dọ̀ lọ́hùn ló máa mú wá sílé pápá ṣégè ẹni máa kú ló máa kú ìjà tí gbogbo wa ń sá fún tá a náà fẹ́ yẹn òun ni Tinubu fi lọ mú wá torí àwọn ẹrù fáyọ̀ ní gbọ́ wọ̀ nígbà I don't know what they want to do àwa náà fímú sílẹ̀ gan agbé gbogbo intelligence síta but kò tí ì mú kankan jáde. mo kí àṣírí kọ̀ọ̀kan Elédùmarè ó sọ pé happy new month bẹ́ẹ̀ ni September 1st October November December ó kó oṣù mẹ́ta láti ọdún yìí láti January adúpẹ́ fẹ́mi kí ló tún kù what have you achieved àti dúpẹ́ fẹ́mi o jọ̀ẹ́ tó lálàáfíà àtẹ̀ntó lálàáfíà ìyàtọ̀ ni o láti January títí di September wọ́n ti gbé gbogbo amọ́ra mo kí bàbá Kúnlé Ṣítà he had a printing business somewhere in Lagos Nigeria ni economy Nigeria ó close down ni wọ́n mìíràn bá pound sterling tó fi run business kò mówó wọlé kò mówó jáde àbọ̀rọ̀ àbọ̀yé o mo kí yín o bàbá Olúṣẹ́gun Adébánjọ. All right, I think we're good to go at the capture gbogbo èyí tí a ti kí àwọn tó bá dẹ́kọ̀ àmọ́ kí. Now let's move swiftly because ọjọ́ náà ó máa ń sáré ni happy new month lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí o ìyàwó Margaret mo kí bọ́ ìtẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ lórí TikTok àmọ́ ti blọ́ọ̀kì wèrè Fúlàní pọ̀ láàrin wọn àpá àwọn tó máa ń sọ pé Yorùbá ni wọ́n Fúlàní parako ọgbọ́ jù mí gan lọ wọ́n ṣe wà yẹn. Now I want to take us back to Tinubu because when we say Tinubu is not working for us alone. Agenda, ó ti sọ ní 9 hours, ó ti di 9 hours, listen. Only dear Nigerians, mo kí plan B. This was posted on his X handle. Definitely, I'm going to post it to show anyway. Because I don't think he knows how to use all this. But he proposed that he has a lot of stuff. Only I took an oath láti serve gbogbo Nàìjíríà kò ṣe pé láti wá serve ẹ̀yin nìkan. Only I took an oath to serve all Nigerians and not a section. That oath guides every bridge, road, rail, power, health project we deliver. From Lagos to Calabar Highway, bí Tinubu lo 10 years kò lè parí project yẹn. Tó bá dẹ̀ lọ project yẹn bí kíbi tó bá ṣe dé náà ni bam àwọn lọ nìyẹn. How many people agree with that? The Calabar, the Lagos Calabar Highway project tí Tinubu dáwọ́lé nísìn àmọ́ pọ́ fi kówó jẹ ni normal nìyẹn àtàyébáyé ló ti ń ṣe yẹn. But ṣe believe pé tí Tinubu bá lo, I'm not talking about 4 years again o, kọ́ tó fún another third term ṣó lè parí project yẹn. Let's be honest with ourselves. Even tó bá tẹ̀ náà níyàn tó dáa ṣó lè parí Lagos Calabar Highway because kò lè parí ẹ̀ in 4 years at the second tenure. Why then are they taking loans and wasting resources ṣé èmi ni mò ń fúlù yín ni àbí Tinubu ló fi fúlù wa báyìí? Let's divert that money. Ẹ pín sí different states. Ẹ bá wa gbogbo láti Ìbàdàn yẹn at least àti gbọ̀nà yẹn dáadáa nísìn. I am not talking about Lagos Ibadan expressway now. I'm talking about láti tí yàn bá gbéra láti Ìbàdàn láti bí Soka junction pé yàn lọ straight down. Ọ̀dà pọ́ṣà lọ wá tán níbí kan mo rí lè mọ àwọn ọ̀nà yẹn tó lọ towards Ọ̀ṣun state. Ṣèbá Ọ̀ṣun la máa gbà jáde lọ sí àńlọ Èkìtì. Ẹni kọ́ bá wa ṣe títì yẹn. Ẹni kí Tinubu owó tó fẹ́ fi ṣe Lagos Calabar highway yẹn ẹni kọ́ divert díẹ̀ nínú ẹ̀ kọ́ fáwa ká fi ṣe títì yẹn kọ́ fáwọn Igbo náà díẹ̀ kọ́ fáwọn Hausa náà díẹ̀ kọ́ fún middle belt díẹ̀. Why trying to start something that will never be finished? Ìyẹn ni mo ti understand. From Ìbàdàn ti Iléṣà okay tẹ́ bá mọ títì yẹn bá mi ṣàlàyé ẹ̀ because tá bá ti gbéra mo sábà kó tá bá gbéra a lọ àjáde sọ́dọ̀ àwọn tó ń ta àkàrà lójú títì yẹn àjáde sí just going towards Èkìtì lọ sọ́nà Òkè Ọya lọ́hùn gbogbo títì yẹn pátá àkóbá àdábá tó wà lórí ẹ̀ Ọlọ́run má jàre ni. Ẹ wá náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ Lagos Calabar highway ní 2025 títí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò tí gbádùn ẹ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ Lagos Calabar highway. Who is fooling who? Can he complete that project in 8 years? Because tenure yìí ti tán 30 kilometres tó lọ ṣe mò ń rí objective láìpẹ́ tó lọ síbẹ̀ tó ní erosion àbí kankan. Why Ìbàdàn to Iléṣà expressway moving to Èkìtì and Ondo bó ṣe rí gangan náà nìyẹn ṣe títí tá gbà tábàtẹ̀wá tó wá ẹ má kí n sọ experience àwọn títì yẹn torí ẹrù máa bẹ̀ lómi gan láti gbàbẹ̀ kọjá. Kò sí smooth road kankan pé o lọ ní 70 miles an hour kò gbádùn smooth road yẹn láti Ìbàdàn yẹn àbí mo parọ́ lọ sí Iléṣà gba abitẹsọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn títí tí wọ́n máa fi dé Èkìtì dé Oǹdó ṣẹ̀tẹ̀ wàá rí gbogbo ọ̀nà Èkìtì Oǹdó lọ́hùn yẹn nítorí mi rí kò ṣe máa sọ. Báwo ni èèyàn ṣe fẹ́ run business? Lagos nìkan kọ́ ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, Oǹdó ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni, ilẹ̀ Káàárọ̀ Oòjíire ní ilẹ̀ Oòduà ni, Èkìtì bí a lè ṣe business ní gbogbo yẹn but tá a bá fẹ́ gbé business yẹn pé tá à ń ṣe yẹn a fẹ́ ní kó bá wa deliver wá sí Èkó on a daily basis bí Amazon ṣe mọ̀ pé logistics níbẹ̀ lówó wà jù láyé yìí. How many people knows that? I'm just telling you if you don't know. Logistic business ibẹ̀ lówó wà. Àtàndá Síkírù mo kí bàbá wa Rich Jinadu, mo kí àwa Grace Olúṣòótọ́, Ọlọ́run bá foríjì grandma màmá wọn ṣaláìsí láìpẹ́ ní last week tó ní ages ẹ bá ń kíyàwó yín àti àwọn ọmọ yín ní Belgium. Bishop Adesina mo rí yín bẹ́ẹ̀. The line is open in case you want to call in. Màdé ṣé ó tó jọ mẹ́ta àtẹ̀tẹ̀rẹ̀ owó StreamYard yìí san àṣìgbádùn ẹ̀ ni. Bọ́lọ̀jà àríwó só ẹ̀ka sanwó wọ́n yẹ̀ ní ká lè máa gbádùn ẹ̀ dáadáa torí òun ló connect gbogbo platform wa together. Ọjọ́ tó bá tún disconnected tá àrówó san á jẹ́ pé platform méjì péré ló lè connect. Ẹ ṣe gan-an ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń support wa tí ẹ̀ jẹ́ kó rẹ̀ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ jẹ́ kó sun yín. Ó tó jọ Grandma Comfort Alógúnjà mo dé àdúgbò yín l'Oǹdó yẹn ibẹ̀ yẹn fine gan but mọ́mì kò sí títì. Ẹ wò mí láti Birmingham ẹ ṣe gan ni sir. Crown Prince ẹ ṣe gan ni. Báwo ni Birmingham láàárọ̀ yìí ibẹ̀ ni dúdú pọ̀ sí jù lẹ́yìn London. Mọ́mì Ọlọ́gúnjà mo dé Oǹdó beautiful place. Ẹ wá káwọn ọba yẹn kátẹ̀ nìkan. I don't know what a lot of people don't understand. nígbà tí mo dé ọ̀dọ̀ bàbá wa Olúpòtì of Ìpòtì táwa jáde, though it's getting almost dark, but before we got there, when we were driving, because for someone like myself, our area, Benny, what I did mostly, with my camera, a lot of different places. Pictures to upload. What did you say? Koiki camera, you don't need the problem. Even get the settings and that. So, when you want to get photographer, take me. One pillow yakowa. If you see a portrait in me, then sometimes I have to zoom and zoom out. So, call on Choji Yakaturi to Dara, Julie no, second hand Lara, but do serve purpose there. When you look at the pictures, pictures to upload, and you ask ourselves, kilodetali develop our mountains here, kilodetali develop our oko here, but kò sí road network kankan àti tó bá ń parọ́ fún yín. Mo wo ọmọ wa kan post lánàá lórí Facebook Martins. Jẹ́ wo bí mo lè mú fídíò yẹn wá, ẹ jẹ́ close down some of the pages. Month yìí náà pè ní United Nations General Assembly. Very, very important month. Tó bá jẹ́ pé ariwo wa ó ń lọ sókè gan-an, month yìí ní gbogbo àwọn ìlú pátá 191 countries àti tí wọ́n ti fún ní country tó yẹ pé country ni wọ́n bọ̀wọ̀ accept wọn as a country bí South Korea. China ò gbà pé country ni wọ́n. Palestinian is recognized but wọ́n ti the full country. Tó bá jẹ́ pé àwọn náà pariwo gbàgbà lójoojúmọ́ gbàgbà inú oṣù ìbáyìí táwa yìí would have been the best for us. But it is what it is. Nígbà tá a lè ti ní kọ́lọ̀n kó wà pẹ̀lú wa. Tó bá jẹ́ pé oṣù yìí nìkan la bá gbé òun wá síta tán pátápátá. Oṣù tí gbogbo àwọn tó bá máa fi máa dé by 23rd Tinubu gbogbo wọn. Bí àtúbà tí Tinubu bá dé Amẹ́ríkà bí wọ́n máa arrest ẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ pé kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ Nàìjíríà? Wọ́n náà kan fi lọ. Kí ló dé tẹ wá ń ṣe báyìí fún wọn? Àbẹ̀wò ọ̀rọ̀ mi ò yé yín. You must put pressure sometimes to achieve something. Woman yẹn wá ó ń ṣe bí àpárá lórí Facebook mo ti rí. Ó ń bèrè time. Ó náà tí wà ń bẹ̀ látànà. Bí yàn bá ránṣẹ́ náà bó ṣe máa sọ pé àwọn tí wà ń bẹ̀ látànà nìyẹn. Àkábèsì ta lọ sọ́dọ̀ wọn lélẹ́yìí. Elérò mo ti follow wọn lórí Facebook. Elérò wà fún ìrú wà. Bàbá dáadáa. Bàbá yẹn sọ̀rọ̀ dáadáa. Àwọn bàbá alálùbáríkà kò sí gbogbo bẹ̀yẹn pátá kò sí infrastructure kankan tó ń ṣiṣẹ́. Ní ọ̀kan bá sọ fún yín pé infrastructure wà ní Èrúwà, ó wà ní Làlẹ́tẹ̀, Ayétẹ̀, Tápà. Kò sí one single infrastructure kankan tẹ́lẹ̀ tọ́ka sí. Nigeria is a fake country, but it's unfortunate that our people are living in denial. Èyí ni day 82, bó pè ní Oòduà nation. Kò ní kankan tó bàjẹ́, bó pè ní Yorùbá nation, bó dẹ̀ náà pè ní Yorùbá nation, ó lè stop àwọn tá à ń pè ní Yorùbá nation. Bàbá Akíntóyè tí yìí òun padà pé Yorùbá nation ni, àbí kò ń ṣe Yorùbá nation kọ́. So because a lot of people continue to get confused about that. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn foreign freelance journalists mi, any little thing tẹ́ bá rí ẹ̀ ń send sí wa, èèyàn kan ló jẹ́ ká mọ̀ pé ní ibì kan ní ọ̀nà MDLA ní ìyànà Ìsọlọ̀ kan náà ọmọ wa ni ó bá wa ṣe fídíò wọ́n ní epo táǹkà ó ṣe kíni gas tanker tẹ̀ lọ́pẹ́ ó ṣubú lulẹ̀ ó explode. That was yesterday morning. Wọ́n bá wa ṣe fídíò, even if it was 8 seconds, it shows that we have a lot of eye report. But in the man of the barring kankan tó ń lọ láyìíká yín tẹ́ fẹ́ ká tètè sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ẹ bá wa máa date get the timing very, very important. Torí pé ànímọ̀ àná nísìnyí ta fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ Tonia tọ́nà àwọn lọ sí restaurant àwọn lọ tọ̀ àbáwọn lọ yàgbẹ́ ni I don't know which one. Eventually wọ́n lọ́kàn wọn bá ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ program èèyàn kan ní 5 years ago ni kò tẹ̀ tí jẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀ tán délẹ̀ bó ṣe máa ń distort information nìyẹn. Nígbà téèyàn nìkan ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wọn ní March tẹ́yìn sọ pé 5 years ago ṣẹ́yìn ló ṣẹlẹ̀ sí woman yẹn lélẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kí n fojú ẹ̀wọ̀n yìí Mukia Warukaya Tomaumi, Ekabama. So what we are saying to Tinubu is, instead of investing in the real project, coastal road, láti Lagos lọ Calabar, ṣe bá wa ṣe títì láti Ìbàdàn, títì wọnú Oǹdó, ṣe bá wọn náà wà lánàá bitumen, níbo lọ́kọ̀ gbogbo bitumen yẹn sí, tó fi ṣe títì. Mo wà àwọn títì mi tọ́nà ṣe báyìí, no proper drainage. Tójò bá rọ̀ báyìí, ó máa gbé gbogbo ẹ̀ lọ ni. Nigeria is a scam and it will remain so until we pull out. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, month táwa yìí, tó bá jẹ́ pé every year ni month yẹn nìkan la bá ń ṣe gbogbo tó yẹ ká ṣe tán dáadáa, ariwo yẹn máa kan United Nations lára. Nígbà tí wọ́n ń béèrè kó o ṣé mo mọ̀ ẹ́ rí ni, o gbọ́ èdè tí mò ń sọ, ọmọ Pakistan. Wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ní kí fáwọn ní co-host, mo ṣe máa fún yín ní co-host. Mo mọ̀ ẹ́ rí ni, àwọn tí mo mọ̀ rí gan mo ti fún wọn ní co-host. So ẹ jẹ́ sáré fi fídíò yẹn wọ̀nyí. Ó sọ di àwàdà, ó sọ di eré, fídíò náà lẹ́ ń wò yìí.
Since yesterday, I've been on the road to Abuja. I'm still here at the kitty. And it's what's the time? Let me check my time. Let me check my time.
Forget Federal Road. What did you
Let me check. This is so 12. I'm still in the kitty since yesterday. Imagine.
This for me, nítorí kí àwọn asokun fún ni, ó ń lọ Àbújá, ó ti get stock sí kìtì. Ṣé ọ̀kẹ́ bàtà mi sọ ádá wípé mo àsọdùn, a ní kò sí títì. Mo pìtì gbogbo àwọn mọ́tò tá a gbé jáde ní ìjọ tá à ń lọ láti ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn bàbá Èkìtì, tá a fẹ́ lọ cross ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn ọmọ Lúkà l'Ondo State. Mo pìtì, kódà mọ́tò chief gan mo kàn pìtì ẹ̀ pé bó ṣe jẹ́ rugged Hilux, bó ṣe jẹ́ rugged tó yẹn, mo pìtì ẹ̀. Ká má ti wá sọ ṣé mọ́tò táwọn staff ti wá tẹ̀ wá nú ẹ̀ ní Sienna nìyẹn. Ká má ti wá sọ gbogbo àwọn mọ́tò míì, mọ́tò alága Ìbàràpá, táyà méjèèjì bam ó bàjẹ́, exhaust because a máa gbálẹ̀ ní gbàgà tó bá yá exhaust yẹn ajá wálẹ̀. Ẹ̀gbọ́n tí wọ́n máa ń sọ, when I'm still in Ekiti, Yoruba nation, Oduduwa nation, no changes, no worries. People should stop the distraction and confusion. That's all for one here. Bàbá tó kọ̀wé tó náà we are Yoruba people. Ṣé orí bàbá yẹn ò pé ni? Ṣáà máa sọ pé orí bàbá yẹn orí ò pé. Èyí lẹ́sẹ̀ máa sọ fún wa nísìn. Yes, you know, ẹni tó fẹ́ pè ní Oduduwa nation, ó ní right láti pè níbẹ̀ because of the awuyewuye oríṣiríṣi tó ń lọ lọ́tún lósì. Èrè ọ̀nàdà ọmọ Fúlàní lélẹ̀ àbí kó jẹ́ ọmọ Ìgbò. Torí orúkọ tó lóyìn nísìn kò àmọ́ èyí tó jẹ́ ń bẹ̀. Nìkan tó bá jẹ́ Yorùbá ní ìwọ ni wàá kọrú bí wàá kọrú ilé sí bíbà. Ẹ̀wù tó kọ nísìn. Sórí ilé ìpé báyìí nísìn. Ọmọ àlè. Ọmọ Fúlàní. Ó ní Yorùbá movement. Ó wá fi emoji ẹ̀rín sí. Ó ní funny people wèrè. Ọmọ àlè Fúlàní. Ṣé wọ́n là ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ bí? Ó pè rẹ̀ ní clip. Ṣé bábà ní ẹni tó fi ń pè rẹ̀ ní clip? Tá bá lọ profile ẹ̀ nísìn. Àti nípa àwọn ọmọ olè tó ń jalè láti ilé tó máa tán fẹ́ ẹ̀yin ìyàwó ẹ ṣáà máa wà very careful. Tó bá ti pè yín tán ní Ìgbò náà wà láàrin wọn, Yorùbá wà láàrin wọn. Tó máa ní máa block ẹ̀ nísìn, mo fẹ́ kó gbọ́rọ̀ dáadáa ní kí tó block ẹ̀ máa block ẹ̀. Tó bá ti ní wọ́n máa send code kan sí iṣẹ́ táwọn máa ń ṣe láàárọ̀ nìyẹn. Ó ní funny people. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni funny people, àwọn tó bí ẹ oníkúure, ọmọ àlè, ọmọ Fúlàní, àwọn wèrè àti kẹran mẹ́rò, ara tí Britain dá sílẹ̀ nìyẹn. Mo kí bàbá Bòbóyè. So ẹ wo woman yìí nísìn, wọn náà ti wà ní Èkìtì, kò tí dá Àbújá, ó sì wà ní Èkìtì. And this is why we say we cannot continue to live in denial. A máa ń kàn gbọ́ pé títí ò da, it is mo wá rí àríṣà yẹn dáadáa nígbà tá lọ Òkè Ọya lọ́hùn ní the couple of weeks sẹ́yìn. Tá lọ sí ìtàtẹ̀gbà yẹn tó strike brain mi jù tìpa. Mo fẹ́ complain fún olóyè pàpà, olóyè máa ṣe sùúrù ni o. I kept on complaining. ọjọ́ mẹ́ta bá dé báyìí gbogbo ara báyìí ó ro mí ni. The road was so bad. I mean nínú city yes nígbà tá a kúrò lọ́dọ̀ bàbá wọn lọ́wọ́ yẹn bí àwọn yẹn pressure pé àwọn làwọn ní restriction yẹn ni government ṣe títì yẹn fún àwọn which is okay. Ẹgbàbẹ̀ jáde sí ṣé airport road lọ́n pè bí ṣe sọ airport yẹn náà ẹ lọ wo signboard ẹ ṣáà ní kán bá ń ya picture kan send ẹ̀ sí kẹrin nǹkan tí mò ń sọ ordinary signboard signage ní ọ̀dọ̀ tiwa lọ́hùn signage is like prestige kí gómìnà má lè ṣe signage airport ẹ bá máa kàn gbé fún kan náà ọmọ yẹn ní bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ṣe é kọ́dẹ̀ fún wọn lówó ìlú ló máa cost kọ́dẹ̀ nìkan máa maintain ẹ̀ ní every month kọ́dẹ̀ máa make sure pé wọ́n rán yàn kó máa lọ máa check ẹ̀ I mean common sense ní gbogbo eléyìí náà but àwọn wà interested inú bẹ̀rẹ̀ lẹ́nu helicopter wọn máa land sí àfi kó máa land sí government house because púpọ̀ nù helicopter lọ fi travel láti state wọn lọ sí bí a ti Tinubu bá ń bọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan wá sáré ní kó gé grass ibẹ̀ kó tidy up nǹkan mo rí picture Tinubu tó pọ̀ ní ti Ondo yẹn l'Ákúrẹ́ bí ẹgbà tó wá síbẹ̀ ni gbogbo àwọn bánà ẹ̀ sì wà lára ẹbẹ̀ Tinubu ti lọ tán nísìn everything is dead again 9:30 a.m. in the first let's go back to Tinubu ká fi parí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn Tinubu ní mo fẹ́ ka gbogbo ẹ̀ ká wá wò ṣé ó ń sọ òtítọ́ àbí ó ti gbé wa ní gógó ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ kàntí ó jáde láti ọ̀dọ̀ Jagaban èyí lè máa wá sọ nínú comment section pé ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ló rí àbí a kàn ń sọ àsọdùn torí ànífẹ̀ẹ́ Tinubu tí mo sọ pé àwa la nífẹ̀ẹ́ jù let's read it further mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ wà lórí ètò. I'll read it without any interruption this time around. Dear Nigerians, make sure go on screen. Yeah, it's there now. Mr. Koiki, in fact, I'm thinking about our movement to Lagos State traffic. Lagos State. Láti lọ yọjú sí ọba Oyèkán, ọba Bariga, àwọn ọba tó kù bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ọlọ́run kọ́ wa mọ̀ ṣe. Dear Nigerians, I took an oath to serve all Nigerians, not a section. That oath guides every bridge, road, rail, power, health project we deliver. From the Lagos-Calabar Highway in the south to the Sokoto-Badagry Super Highway in the north. From Port Harcourt to Maiduguri in the Maiduguri Rail in the east to Abuja-Kaduna-Kano Expressway in the center. And the Trans-Sahara Highway connecting African countries. These are not local trophies. They are our national assets. Health centers are being rehabilitated nationwide. Light rail projects in Kano, Kaduna, Lagos, and Ogun State have been given the green light. 250,000 jobs are being created. Power is returning to Kaduna through the revival of 255 megawatt power plant. Bridges in Onitsha and Boni reconnect our people. Oil exploration is expanding in Bauchi and Gombe. And the AKK pipeline has crossed the Niger. Every farmer who needs a road, every trader who needs power, every child who needs a school, every patient who needs care. This is who we are building for. This is the equity of the renewed hope. No Nigerian is second class. No region is left behind. Together we will rise as one nation, one people, one destiny. Bet on Nigeria. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Kí lẹ rí sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn? Orubani, it is a distraction. The number to call is TikTok. This is where you now have your own say for engagement. Yawa Comfort, Timothy Toto Darko. One that was how Baba Jasin left Akure Airport Latin 1984. Yay! Check the airport Timori and Bushi 1 year Latin 1984 man. àní mo wọnú lé akọ̀ drive gbàbẹ̀ kọjá ní airport road yẹn la gbà kọjá signage lásán. I can tell that the inside nothing is working because kò sí mo kọ̀ dáhùn security tó dúró sẹ́nu ọ̀nà kò sí kankan tó ń lọ tó ń bọ̀ but mo kò sáré wo sign ó dùn mí pé mo tètè gbé kámẹ́rà mi kí n take snap ẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sórí nǹkan tí Jagaban sọ ní bíbá gbogbo ara ti gbọ́ nǹkan tí ọmọ olódò ọdẹ ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lórí àbí kílẹ̀ yìí rí sí +447404405917 àsìkò tẹ́yìn náà lè dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ náà òun ló kàn báyìí torí kẹ má ní láti wákàtí 45 minutes tó máa pé wákàtí 3 ìwọ nìkan ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ ó tẹ̀ fáwa láyè. Bàbá wa Adésínà ní Tinubu ó mákẹ́tì Nàìjíríà ni fún àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ yẹn ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lórí látìgbà tí Jagaban ti débẹ̀ ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lórí ṣé kí n sọ àwọn pọ́ìntà yẹn jáde fún wa kápọ̀ sáré jọ gbé yẹ̀wò. In tí Jagaban máa sọ ni pé infrastructure equity for every region. Wọ́n ní tí Koikimedia ń sọ yẹn pé ẹ má dá lóhùn pé ó kò sí títì yẹn àwọn ṣe títì kódà wọ́n ní railway ṣiṣẹ́ kódà wọ́n ní iná wà wọ́n ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ ti ríṣẹ́. Oruba ni yes he's been selling off our people like slaves. Kódà ó ní Onitsha gbogbo ẹ̀ ń lọ bó ṣe jẹ́ kó lọ. Wọ́n ní AKK pipeline. Mo sọ fún yín pé many things are happening in that country. Èwo tún ní AKK pipeline. Mo fi lọ mo jáde ní o. Ajaokuta Kaduna Kano pipeline is a 614-kilometer natural gas pipeline project in Nigeria planned to transport gas from Ajaokuta to Kano by Kaduna to boost industry growth and power generation in the northern Nigeria. Wow. Kile Sosa. Since Tinubu entered Sept, which any of Yoruba states he has visited except Lagos? Ṣé pé láti Àjàòkúta wọ́n fẹ́ gbé gas pipeline lọ sí Kaduna? Ó ga o. As a core component of Nigeria gas master plan, the pipeline is designed to unlock natural gas reserves, foster energy security, and serve as a critical link for the Trans-Nigeria gas pipeline network. The project, which involved extensive infrastructure beyond the pipeline itself, faced technical challenges such as River Niger crossing, but has shown significant progress, with some reports indicating nearly 70 to 83% completion in the mid-2025. To supply gas for power generation and support industry development in northern Nigeria. Very soon, Dangote abẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣe àwọn investment níbẹ̀ nígbà tó bá ti gbé gas pipeline lọ síbẹ̀. The pipeline system is capable of transporting 2.2 billion standard cubic feet of gas per day. Ẹ̀yin ò tiẹ̀ tí rí gas fi dáná. Bàbá wa Warisi ní àsìkò táwọn Ṣàgórì máa cash out ní Nàìjíríà lélẹ̀. Ta ló máa tán pè ní Ṣàgórì? Ta ló ti gbórúkọ yẹn rí? The Ṣàgórìs. Àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ tímọ́tímọ́ President Bola Tinubu ni wọ́n. They are very good friend of Jagaban. Àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ tímọ́tímọ́ Jagaban ni àwọn Ṣàgórì. Àwọn olúmọ Ṣàgórì. Ìyàwó Comfort ní brush there is no one Nigeria, there shall no be one Nigeria, but Tinubu ní we are one Nigeria. Àwọn Lebanese bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, the Ṣàgórìs. Let's go back to what Tinubu is saying in this message tó fi síta. Eléyìí ni ó tẹ̀ wá ká mi lára ní gbogbo ẹ̀. Every farmer who needs a road, wọ́n ní ọ̀nà ti wà fún yín o láti gbogbo ibikíbi tó lúkálùkù wá bá wà. Tinubu ní kí n sọ fún gbogbo yín pé there is a good road network for every single one of us. We have about 15 minutes. We will bring the program to an end so that ká tún lọ ní a short break fáwọn tó ń lọ síbi iṣẹ́, àwọn tó ṣì ń sùn. Mo kí Azeez Badeshere, àwọn ti Miami, àwọn America, Canada, mo kí àwọn tó Australia, China. Ààrẹ Allen Conde lẹ́nujọ́ mẹ́ta ìbíà wọ́n ní project lọ́wọ́ mo kí safety domain mo kí ẹni tí mo sí àǹfààní àti kí mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa káàkiri eléyìí la tún fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ the first day of the month mo ní month tàwa yìí ariwo wa ló yẹ kó pọ̀ jù torí oṣù tí wọ́n ń pè ní United Nations General Assembly tó bá jẹ́ pé ó ń lọ bó ṣe jẹ́ kó lọ ní àsìkò tí Tinubu máa dọ́bẹ̀ tó yẹ pé wọ́n lè arrest ẹ̀ mọ́bẹ̀ pé kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ Nàìjíríà àfihàn tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ but unfortunately it is still what it is but that will not stop engagement diplomacy. Diplomacy is part of the game, but you must also prepare for the other options that can drive our quest to self-determination. As I leave us for the first day of the month, remember not to be deceived. Remember not to be told any lies. How about okay? Millions of our people have not been okay and they can never be okay because of what it is. Mo kí bàbá wa comfort, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa káàkiri lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé ọba tó ní wá kò ní jẹ́ kí Fúlàní kó defeat wa. They've never defeated us before and they are not likely to defeat us. Mo kí you innovate. Mo kí ṣe Abib lórí Instagram. Mo kí Gideon, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbọ́ wa ní ọ̀nà anonymous. Èmi náà máa ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, mo mọ̀ pé wà níbẹ̀. All right. Nígbà tá a bá ti fi gbẹnu pa fi lọ báyìí kọ́ọ̀lù wọlé dé nígbà tá a ti máa fi gba kọ́ọ̀ àtẹ̀rẹ̀ tó ń pè lọ́sẹ̀ kò show. Why is it not coming up on my screen? Okay, tó ń pè wá kọ́ fẹ́ kí n gbọ́ voice mail wọ́n bá ti pè mí bẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́ kí n gbọ́ voice mail. The amount of voice message that I receive kọ́lọ̀ kó ṣàánú wa. Anyway, let's end the broadcast. If we have more time, there will be more of my other staff. Táwọn náà máa tún wá bá yín sọ̀rọ̀. A ṣe agẹmọdé lánàá. A dúpẹ́ pé gbogbo àwọn ètò báyìí ó máa ń dùn mọ́ wa nínú. It could be better, but again, when our people have not even have enough, irú àwọn event ẹ̀ káwọn yẹn máa book holiday wá fún ni. But tá bá wà ní country tiwa la lè promoted bí a ṣe fẹ́, you know, because our òfin máa wà. Constitution máa wà kò ń ṣe tí gọ́fìnà kan máa sọ pé ojúde ọba nìkan no ẹ wo Ajero festival yẹn ebi ò tẹ́ gbọ́ rí mo débẹ̀ bá mo ní irú kan báyìí lọ níbí báyìí you know these are many events happening in different parts of Southwest tó yẹ kó jẹ́ our own prestigious event táwọn èèyàn máa wá tó máa dé as holiday ẹlòmíì lè kọ́ wá ṣe 3-4 days yẹn mo wo àwọn tó ń lọ sí Palestinian again nísìn 50 boats ló ń gbé lọ mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé Israel máa intercept gbogbo wọn we see how that goes ó lọ́mọ kò mo fẹ́ sọ lánàá kí tó máa lọ wọ́n pọ̀ ọmọ kan ní Gratel àbí kí lọ́mọ ẹ̀hẹ́n náà lélẹ̀ activist ni ẹ̀jẹ̀ sáré ṣojú ẹ̀ fáwọn tó wà lórí ìgbà ẹ̀ mo fẹ́ sọ lánàá but ó tún escape mind mi nígbà tó lọ ilé tó lọ yìí Israel dá padà but nísìnyí ní kọ́kọ́ ló lọ mọ́ ní báyìí nísìnyí bí 50 flotillas ships kéékèèké oríṣiríṣi ńlá wọ́n lọ towards Palestinian àwọn rẹ́dì láti kú mo láìpẹ́ òyìnbó because anything orí omi làwọn gbà lọ àwọn ọ̀lọ́ lórí títí o but àwa ọmọ 22 years old mo wá wò mí báyìí mo jù lọ by 2 times because mo ti kọjá 44 so that means pé ọmọ yìí ti ń ṣe tí ó yẹ káwa ti ṣe lòun náà ṣe ìjà tó ń jà nísìnyí ìjà Palestine ló ń jà ìjà tèmi ń jà ìjà ìran tèmi lèmi jà ọmọ German ni o tẹ́ rí ẹ̀ rojú ẹ̀ dáadáa mo bọ́ yẹn rojú ẹ̀ tẹ̀wá bíbà ojú ẹ̀ lélẹ̀ nǹkan fojú ẹ fẹ́ máa mọjú ẹ̀ oúnjẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ mọ́ ọmọ German ni kò bẹ̀rù kú bó ṣe wà yẹn ẹ jẹ́ n show images fún gbogbo ẹ̀ sódà kalẹ̀ rí dáadáa láti bíbà òun lẹ́ ń wò yìí 22 Gretel Thunberg lórúkọ ẹ̀ ọmọ German ni ẹ lè Google ẹ̀ 22 years old bó bá kú lé ní wọn máa rántí ẹ̀ ambos bọ́ sí ikú kan nípa fún wa 22 years old. Oh, Sweden ni. Okay, I'm Sweden ni. Okay, má bínú. Má rò pé German ni. Why am I always thinking she's German? Mo mọ̀ pé Swedish ni. Ó sọ lórí gan ọmọ yẹn. Mo like energy ọmọ yẹn. Tó bá yẹ pé energy yẹn ló wà lára gbogbo wa, tá bẹ̀rù àti gba Yorùbá country yẹn. Eléyìí ò dúró de àgbàlagbà kan. Kàkà bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn àgbàlagbà ló ń rọ́ tẹ̀lé lẹ́yìn with owó tó dẹ̀ wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ bó ṣe wà yẹn as an activist. Wọ́n jẹ́ kó lákòówó bó ṣe wà yìí. Ẹ rò pé easy ni kíyàn náà fẹ́ gbé fẹ́ fòtílà àbí ship àbí whatever láti ibì kan máa lọ sí Palestinian. Wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ ní gbogbo nǹkan. Ordinary táwa bá béèrè. Adábẹ́ àtẹ́ pé akílódé tó ń béèrè. Irú eléyìí wọ̀ fún ìyàwó jẹ́ bó ṣe wà yìí. Ọmọ ìtàn ìwé. Ó yẹ òun náà wọ́n ti kọ síbẹ̀ ẹ má bínú èmi mọ́. Má rò pé German ni Swedish political activist. Ó fi ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ sílẹ̀ fáwọn tó mọ̀ yìí. Ó ń jàjà káàkiri. Wọ́n tún gbéra báwọn lọ Palestinian. Wọ́n ṣẹ̀ deport ní ọ Israel gbé wọ́n jẹ́ kó wọlé. Àwọn 50 wá tún náà máa tẹ̀lé ẹni máa kú mọ́ ló máa kú kàtẹ́. Mo bẹ́ẹ̀ jẹ́ sáré gbé call màmá mi mò ń bọ̀. Hello ma. Alaikum salam. Mo wà lórí program o. Ṣé kò urgent? Okay. So, àgbọ̀rọ̀ mọ̀ yẹ́yí. But àwa ò fẹ́ wàhálà. Ìran tí wọ́n like wàhálà. But àwọn kan ń gbé wàhálà, wọ́n ń gbé wá bá wa lójoojúmọ́. Wọ́n ń gbé wàhálà, wọ́n ń gbé wá bá wa ní ojoojúmọ́. Àwa dẹ̀ sọ pé a fẹ́ wàhálà. Ẹ má bínú, màmá tó bí mi ló pè mí. Ìtọ́dẹ̀ pè mí fún yẹn náà wá important, bọ̀ mo ti yanjú ẹ̀. Ọmọ 22 years old. Ó yẹ kó jẹ́ inspiration fún gbogbo wa. 22 years old. 22 kò tí ì bímọ, kò tí ì marry. Bí ó ní girlfriend ní bí ó ní boyfriend ní, I don't know. Ẹ jẹ́ àgbọ̀n kan tí Sky News sọ nípa ẹ̀. Great Thunberg set sail for Gaza on a second aid flotilla alongside hundreds of activists. They are ready to die because àwọn tó bá ń gbèrú gbèsè tá à ń gbé ọ̀nà méjì ni whatever tó bá máa jáde níbẹ̀ ló máa jáde. The 22 years old and other activists were cheered on by thousands of supporters waving Palestinian flag. Ẹlòmíì ẹ̀rù ń bà á láti lè mú flag kan dání. Tàbá ní kó mú flag dání nísìnyí á ní ọlọ́mọ yẹ kí a rí mú flag kí wọ́n má bàa pa wá kí wọ́n má bàa tẹ́. Wọ́n set off from Barcelona. Ìyẹn lánàá ni wọ́n gbéra láàárọ̀ àná. Mo fi sọmọ program tí mo ṣe lánàá but ẹ̀mọ̀ tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ sometimes òun lẹ̀ ń wò yìí. Mo fi play video. This is a mission. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́gbọ́n tọkọ o. This is a mission to challenge the extremely violent business as usual international system that is failing to uphold international law. Èèyàn máa disrupt gbogbo nǹkan ní láti lè jẹ́ kí nǹkan bọ́ sí. But bí ṣe sọ, torí kó bá dàbí pé Koiki tí ẹnìkan ló ṣe wá dàbí kó yàtọ̀ láàrin gbogbo wọn. You have to disrupt. Ẹ ṣe gbé ni mo ti rí pé Swedish ni. I always thought she's German. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, bàbá mi Warizi lọ́dún ní ìjà Palestinian and Arab nation. While his Arab nation neighbors stay on the sideline, èèyàn kan ń jà láti Sweden, ó ń gbèjà wọn. Bishop ló máa bá wa dá sí máa fi parí ẹ̀. Ó yá Bishop, ẹbí to background ẹ ti wọlé. But àwọn ò fẹ́ kú. Ọmọ 22 years old. Owó tó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ tó fi run operation yẹn nísìnyí ẹ̀ tó bá jẹ́ pé mi ní ìdajì irú owó yẹn ni màá mi Nàìjíríà á mì tìtì kó ṣe tẹnu á mì tìtì tí bá ní ìdajì owó tọmọ ìfihàn operate tí bá ní ìdajì owó yẹn màá mi Nàìjíríà gan máa bèrè pé ká ní Koikimedia yìí màá mi á mì tìtì gbogbo Nàìjíríà títí dé north Ẹgbọ́n sókè Bishop.
Mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ mo ti wo gbogbo but nígbà tí ọmọ ẹ wá sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ọmọ Sweden yẹn ó wá jẹ́ mo wá decide pé ok máa ṣàlàyé rí ohun tí gbogbo àwọn àdúrà ètò àǹkó tí wọ́n ti ṣe lórí ìjàgbara yìí. Ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ recently ó jẹ́ kí a mọ̀ pé àwọn àdúrà àtàwọn ètùtù wọ̀nyí ó gbà. Àwọn àṣírí ńláńlá ni ó hàn. Ẹ̀yà wa ní little fundamental problem. Let me not use the word problem. Issue. And we should not jettison it. That's by the way. Knowing that we will be able to carry ourselves and be focused on which direction we are going. Now, can you be anything? Can you program share? Ò fi anything Yoruba Nation àbí orúkọ Yorùbá sí. You are just doing your Koikimedia and you are fighting for the right like a black man àbí kí lorúkọ ẹ̀. Do you know you will not have any problem? I'm telling you. Nobody will attack you. Nobody will criticize what you are saying or what you are doing. I'm telling you the truth. Black man, and what is his name?
Very dark man.
Doing the same thing. Very dark man.
Support tó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀.
Tó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Ó ń lọ káàkiri ó build infrastructure fáwọn less privileged àpò.
Very dark man.
Fighting Nigeria, criticizing.
Kò dẹ̀ kúrò ní Nàìjíríà. Kò kúrò ní Nàìjíríà. Tó bá mú àgbà lọ́yà tó máa tún lọ gbalẹ̀. Kò kúrò ní Nàìjíríà. Bọ̀ kò dárúkọ. Ṣẹ́rí point tẹ dárúkọ yẹn Bishop. Ṣẹ́rí point tẹ dárúkọ yẹn Bishop. Káwàkọ̀ dúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run ni. Ọlọ́run kọ́ prepare wa fún ìjọba ẹ̀ náà ni. Because in the very dark man ṣe yẹn bí Bishop ṣe sọ gẹ́lẹ́ gan náà ló ṣe rí nìyẹn. Màá wà ní Nàìjíríà, màá máa criticize government, màá dẹ̀ máa jẹ́ tọ̀ìtọ̀, màá máa gbádùn. Mo gbọ́dọ̀ dárúkọ pa fẹ́ break Nàìjíríà. Because very dark man gbọ́dọ̀ dárúkọ pọ̀ fẹ́ break Nàìjíríà bó ṣe wà yẹn. Ó sọ̀rọ̀ lórí àwọn Aláàfin àti Ọ̀yọ́ láìpẹ́ yìí náà. Kò sọ̀rọ̀ tó ń dá sí, kò sí tó kàn. Wọ́n dẹ̀ bẹ̀rù ẹ̀ bó ṣe wà yẹn. Ẹgbẹ́ òsókè Bishop.
Yeah. Now, you use your platform to ask for walkie-talkie, to ask for drone and gadgets that we will be using to move this crusade. Àwọn tí ò dákọ́ bọ̀ on your platform, wọ́n pariwo pé kò jíjẹ ó ti kówó jẹ. People that doesn't know about what you are doing. Ọlọ́bí ẹ̀sìn ló ti kówó jẹ, ó ti gbowó, ó ti gbé. But supposing you are not bàbá wo ló ṣe program nígbà kan tí bàbá kan orí YouTube ní bàbá ẹ̀ náà wà kó mọ argument to issue tó ní máa rántí. Bàbá yìí tó máa ń kọrin pẹ̀lú tó máa ń kọrin tó máa ń àti ọmọ Igbo báyìí. He sent him money. Ó ní kó fi reduce big money to his account. Ó ní kó wò tiẹ̀ mọ ẹni tó send owó yẹn ó kọ̀ owó mọ́ bóyá account ó kọ̀ owó mẹ́rin nígbà tó máa jẹ́ tó ń jẹ́ korúkọ lòún béèrè pé wú ìgbé tó ní ọ̀sẹ̀ wá pé òun ni kí náà máa ń pè òun àti ìkọ̀kọ́ Igbo yẹn àti ìyá yìí tó máa ń kọrin Don Jazzy ìkejì Don Jazzy yẹn kí lorúkọ ẹ o ti gbàgbé bọ̀ ó sanra báyìí náà ìkejì Don Jazzy ni àbí no Don Jazzy gangan ni sorry
Don Jazzy ló fún lówó.
Don Jazzy ni Don Jazzy gangan ni.
Then you're right, Baba wa Adetola. One, you are not breaking Nigeria, you are asking for reclamation of Yoruba sovereignty. Then let's go this one.
Yeah. So that is the fundamental, and you will see that Yoruba that they beating people that attacking the people standing for Yoruba. And ó máa ń jẹ́ nǹkan tó máa ń surprise ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ and some okay for example now this guy now that rise from Sweden he is not standing for Sweden he is standing for Palestinians. A lot of people that are not Palestinians that are not Sweden that are all around the world rise up in trouble they don't and nobody from Sweden say that ó ti kówó jẹ ó lóun gbé ṣìkì lọ ó ti kó nobody every backing every legal backing every MP stand up behind it.
Satellite gbogbo ẹ̀ ló fi ń tẹ̀lé sọ máa fún ní satellite ọ̀fẹ́ tó máa lò lọ títí tó máa fi débi tó ń lọ nǹkan kan dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ tún ṣe tó bá dọ̀hùn Israel ò gbọ́dọ̀ fọwọ́ kàn wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ yìnbọn fún wọn gbọ́dọ̀ pa gbọ́dọ̀ fọwọ́ kàn.
ní láàárín àwa ìran kóòtù òjìrì àwa Yorùbá àwa gbogbo wa yìí bó ṣe wà títí tó tù nìyẹn tí nǹkan ènìyàn bá dìde bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn nǹkan máa dìde to protect and give support and say we are behind but you will see some that will not rise to sabotage that thing always give people's concern kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ láàárín but àṣírí yẹn tún just recently and àṣírí yẹn ṣe tún is not for public consumption, but it's for us to identify ourselves. Identity need, and we know what to do. And some of us who are actually is because the problem has been solved. The problem has been solved. That's just what I want to talk about. Our people should not be confused. You should not be dissuaded wherever you stand there. Gbogbo ohun kan tó jẹ́ òmìnira wa ó máa adé ní àkókò ní àyẹ̀tẹ̀ Ọlọ́run á ràn wá lọ́wọ́ a ò ní kú sọ́nà bí èsì ẹ ṣé gan. Thank you.
Bishop. Thank you very much. And I believe Bishop has done justice to the conversation. So, àníní jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe sọ it's 3 hours 8 minutes. My early morning coffee and then I can start the day. There's always a busy day for us. Mo kí bàbá wa Saliu Lasisi. Ẹ ṣé gan ni bàbá wa Adetola. Wọ́n ní Koiki, you're not breaking Nigeria. We are reclaiming back what belongs to us, which is our sovereignty, which is very right. So because sometimes àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tá a máa ń lò mú kí Àkànjí ó tó jẹ́ mẹ́ta ọ̀bẹ Elédùmarè bá wà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Kan náà footballer wa gan but again ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà kò jẹ́ kí a rí gbogbo tó yẹ kí ó yẹ kó rí. That is what Nigeria has done. Ẹ ṣé gan ni gbogbo èèyàn wa bí mo ṣe sọ do not get distracted and entangled with the name calling orúkọ kan là ń jẹ́ orúkọ kan là jẹ́. What matter is to pull out of the union, which is the first key. When we pull out of the union, we will decide on what and how we want to be called around the globe. And on that note, have a blessed day ahead. Fulani ò ní jí ẹgbẹ́ o, wọn ò ní jí èmi náà gbé. Àní lọ́jọ́ ebi ń pọ̀nà. Dangote truck ò ní kọlù wa. Mo kí yàwá grandma Felicia Àjàgbẹ́ kábọ̀mà. Mo kí bàbá Jókè. Ṣàmì sí yẹn. Dangote truck má ṣe pa àbúrò Fina. Mo ṣeré. Ó ti kú ọmọ yẹn ti kú lánàá. Ọmọ tó ṣetán ní university fine girl má ṣàmìlẹ lórí mo ní Dangote truck ò ní kọlù ẹ ó lè jẹnu mọ́tò tó wà ó lè jẹnu dánfó ó lè jẹnu kẹ̀kẹ́ Dangote truck ò ní kọlù wá àní rìn lọ́jọ́ ebi ń pọ̀nà. Mo kí àwa Grace Olúṣòótọ́. Kò wọ́n máa náà kó máa kú. Ní the same road ní Auchi road yẹn, even pẹ̀lú pé ọpẹ́lọpẹ́ stopper tí Very Dark Man ṣe, there was still almost another fatal accident ní that same location yẹn, but wọ́n náà àwọn kíní tí Dark Man lọ ṣe yẹn, òun ló stop truck yẹn. Ìlú wèrè, ìlú Janwe. Professor Akintoye has told us since inception that name isn't important now until we obtain our sovereignty. Orúkọ kan la fẹ́ jẹ́. Yes, àwọn media kan máa tẹnu báwọn ṣe Yorùbá nation mọ́ Odùduwà làwọn ṣe ó wà òkè. Àwa tá a dúró lórí pé Yorùbá nation náà ni, even gan bàbá mi Olóyè Ìgbòho sọ pé Oòduà nation lòun ṣe, ó wà òkè. A ní ká kọ́kọ́ bọ́lẹ̀ nínú Nàìjíríà àti Oòduà nation àti Yorùbá nation, a ṣe wà nínú Nàìjíríà tí à ń jẹ wá. Omi ẹ̀ nípẹ́ ṣe jàre mo lọ mu kọ́fì yìí tí mo sọ ti tó láti aago mẹ́rin láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní sí mo dúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run. Ẹ ṣé gan ni ọ̀yá mi comfort ológun. Ẹ bá ń kí sísítà yóò tó jọ mẹ́ta bí àwọn ọmọ wọn ṣe fi padà sí ilé ìwé. Wàhálà wà náà ní UK o. Ẹni tó bá ń follow Facebook wà rí pé mo máa ń lọ mú àwọn story tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú UK. Crime ń ṣẹlẹ̀ bí wèrè lójoojúmọ́, ẹ má bínú fọ́rọ̀ yẹn. Crime tó wà nínú UK ní rí ọjọ́ táwọn èèyàn bá ń gúnra wọn o. Ìwọ tó ṣẹ̀dé abroad ṣe jẹ́jẹ́, ara ń kọ àwọn òyìnbó gan nísìn, ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ máa ṣe bí ọ̀dẹ̀. Tó bá gbá ilé tí gbé kejì fún ọkọ̀ gba kò máa lọ. Wà lọ ṣé ìgbà tó bá ní wá ní ayé lára wà á gun ẹ lọ́bẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ àti àwọn ọmọ tó ní àwọn ọmọ ẹ fi padà lọ prison. Ẹ rí pé lórí Facebook wa mo máa ń post àwọn story tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní crime scene because ọlọ́pàá UK Metropolitan Police mo subscribe pẹ̀lú wọn, so wọ́n máa ń fún mi lóríṣiríṣi news. Mo mọ̀ gbé wá kẹ́lẹ̀ mọ̀ pé kàn ṣẹlẹ̀ wọ́n níbẹ̀ náà ló ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀ ní lọ ní France náà. Ara ń kọ àwọn òyìnbó ẹ̀gán gbogbo ṣe rí àwa dúdú tó ń rí wa káàkiri wọ̀dẹ̀ ní choice bó ṣe máa rí wa náà nìyẹn. So mo rọ̀ ẹ́ èèyàn kan I am in UK now, how can I get the passport? Ẹ máa contact wa so that I lè contact ẹ lè fill form ìyẹn fáwọn tó fẹ́ passport yẹn bí mo ṣe sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ tó bá gbà mo fẹ́ fi travel wọ̀ tí ni kò fi travel. Torí o lè fẹ́ lọ sí Amẹ́ríkà lè sí kó wá lọ gbé passport yẹn pé mo fẹ́ lọ sí Amẹ́ríkà tí Nàìjíríà gan ti fi fún ẹ ní visa. Mo ń béèrè ní tí Nàìjíríà tó fẹ́ mú lọ yẹn tó fi fún ẹ visa. So let us understand that this is a identity. Ohun àwa kan la fẹ́ gbà as an identity. So that tó bá tẹ̀ bí wá pé yóò náà ṣe Yorùbá nation so ní identity wà o lè ràn mú jáde ọkọ̀ fi identifier rẹ̀. But it seems that tí gbogbo èèyàn fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni pé ṣé mo lè fi travel ṣé o lè fi Nigerian passport lọ anywhere ó ti gbẹ́dẹ́ kú tọ́nu. So fáwọn tó fẹ́ gbà kò dẹ́ ṣe ibi Nigerian passport gan náà lọ ti gbówó sókè nísìnyí wọ́n ti pè ní 100,000 naira. Ṣé tó fẹ́ gbà 6 ruba ni nínú ẹ̀ lọ́ máa fi post fún ẹ and 5 ruba wọ́n ní 415,000. So mọ̀mọ́ ẹ̀ ló ní 6 ruba ẹ̀ máa wá jẹ́ ẹ̀tẹ́ bá wà interested ẹ̀ reach out sí wa àá fún ẹ ní form ẹ̀ ní ruba account. Ibẹ̀ ló máa gbà sanwó wàá sanwó through Ruba account wàá wá fill the form wàá ṣe affidavit pé ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn kò bá passport tó ní dání jẹ́ ẹni tó ní British passport àwa kan sí ní Nigerian passport I still have my Nigerian passport kò bá ṣẹ́ jẹ́ àwọn kan ní British passport ìyẹn kan tẹ̀ béèrè pé ṣé o lè lọ Nàìjíríà láti Amẹ́ríkà mo ní òun lè fẹ́ lò lọ sí ewu lè fẹ́ fi lọ Nàìjíríà tẹ́lẹ̀ mo ní passport wo lè fẹ́ fi lọ sí Nàìjíríà tẹ́lẹ̀. But you know, people ask different questions. But the most important part of that passport is, what is the number to call? +4475, Shenkole, +4475 940500979. Number mi wà lórí website mi, koikimedia.com. Lọ sórí website wa, website méjìlá ní. Ìkan international news ni. They ṣe advert sórí ẹ̀ so that ẹ lè gbádùn ẹ̀. A lè gbé advert sí bí Sahara bí Punch tẹ́ pé tẹ́ bá ti lọ síbẹ̀ báyìí oríṣiríṣi pop up. Àwa náà need the world but we are praying and hoping that more people will support us so that a lè jẹ́ kí nǹkan kó easy fẹ́yìn +4475 940500979. Mo wà l'Áfíríkà ẹ má pè mí dára ẹ pè mí lórí WhatsApp. À fún yín ní form ẹ fill the form yẹn ẹ fill affidavit ẹ lọ ṣe affidavit a máa fún yín ní template ẹ lọ sọ́dọ̀ lawyer wá bá yín ṣe affidavit ẹ sign ẹ. Kò affect the passport tó gbé dání tó jẹ́ British America Canada then fáwọn tó ń béèrè pé ṣé mo lè fi travel tó bá fi lè travel tó bá gbà mọ́ ẹ lọ́wọ́ fine torí pé àìtí di country ṣá ní right láti gba passport. Mo ń béèrè pé ṣé right tí British fi fún wa ní Nàìjíríà ṣáwà sọ fún wa pé a fẹ́ Nàìjíríà. But many people will argue stupidly. Ìyẹn mo ṣe máa ń sọ pé irú àwọn activist báyìí nísìn àwọn ọ̀dà yín lóhùn. Wọ́n ní kò gbọ́dọ̀ wá sí Palestine mọ́, ó tútù gbéra ó lọ báyìí nísìn. Let us work to the push. Monster wa ló ń pè ní United Nations General Assembly. Ó yẹ kí ilé wa máa ṣe kò ní gbóná mọ́ àwọn bóyá káriwo máa lọ gbà kọ́ máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. 100 and káàtẹ́ sọ pé 150 countries ló máa represent gbogbo president àti America fẹ́ àti tó fẹ́ ló máa land síbẹ̀. UN building ni. Wọ́n lè máa jẹ́ kọ́ wọ America níjọ́ mi ò bọ̀ ní ìtàn lọ yìí Tinubu náà máa wà níbẹ̀. So on that note, that is how far I'm going to leave it. Ẹ ṣé gan ni o, ìyàwó comfort. The Dangote trailer has killed many people in Nigeria. May God protect us. Why is Dangote using our people for sacrifice? Ògbódò ọ̀rọ̀. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin yẹn wá o. Àní ṣe lásán. Bí àṣà Ìgbò wa ní ibojì tó wà níbẹ̀ yẹn, òun ń bọ̀ níbẹ̀. Awálá ní sí àgbẹ̀yìn. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn ọba wa. Àwọn ọba wa ọba ara wọn jà. Àwọn mídíà tó bá ti kórí wọn báyìí, wọ́n gbé picture báyìí, wọ́n wá ju ti Ìgbòho sí. Wọ́n wá kọ headline gbírígbírí gbàgbàgbàgbàgbà. Gbogbo àmọ́ bó ṣe ń lọ. It's just for traction. Ìgbòho rẹ̀ ti di brand name. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá dárú ẹlòmíì tó bá ti lo picture Ìgbòho lórí program ẹ̀ báyìí bam kò lè rí kankan ṣe. Thank you so much and God bless us. Koikimedia bringing the work closer to your doorstep. And ìrìn jìbá yẹn lọ lẹ́yìn àárọ̀ yìí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni fún traffic purpose bẹ́ẹ̀ni ẹ pàrọ̀ ìyàwó Rukayat. Ẹ ṣé gan ni o grandma bye for now. Arájé jẹun lé ní ọjọ́ ajé.